twitch.tv/ACS voice.
Do you want to post on the League of Legends thing, or can I?
Yeah, go for it. Alright, let me see. Alright, what's the volume level? Testing, testing. Is this too loud? Alright, let me see. Alright, what's the volume level? Testing, testing. Is this too loud? Alright, say something, Dave.
Hello.
Let's see. Alright, what's the volume level? Testing, testing. Is this too loud? Alright, say something, Dave.
Hello.
Let's see. Alright, what's the volume level? Testing, testing. Is this too loud?
I'm gonna also post on WSU League of Legends.
Alright. That was a fun infinite loop of the stream picking up the previous sounds, and it would rebroadcast the previous sound through the stream so that it would then continuously play, which was amazing. Alright, but you do see the stream up, so that's cool. Yeah. Uh-oh. There's an image that has been linked. I might as well look. OSU, Oregon State League of Legends, with Freak and... Is that... Who's that? Afro?
What?
Afro? I can't tell. Anyway.
Yeah, that's freaking Afro, but yeah, Tarek.
This better be a screamer. Oh.
Oh, dude. We'll scream. No, we won't.
No, I think he was talking about the...
All right, so to all of our viewers tuning in right now...
The lack of viewers.
Lack of viewers. Tell me when we get viewers, Cody.
I'll try.
Dude, I love the Sick Nasty. JK, I don't love the Sick Nasty. That's against my religion.
Is it against?
I'm gonna watch this stream.
You watch the stream? See if the volume is fine for you.
Alright.
I am saying many things to test the volume, yeah.
Get the voice cracks in there, get the
does it? I can't, man.
get the singing in there.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen.
Alrighty.
To like the ones I used to know.
Alrighty.
Is it good? Good volume?
It's an alright volume. Yeah, we're good.
Are you equal to it? Like, hi.
Yeah,
This is a comparison of my normal speaking voice. Now, Dave, speak.
Well, your stream. You should probably take away the 3-minute delay on your stream because we're gonna have a 3-minute delay already.
It shouldn't be a 3-minute delay. It should be like 30 seconds.
You know, we should take away the entire delay though.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna have a 3-minute delay already.
Stats. No. Activity. No.
Oh fuck.
No.
So I was listening. I was trying to have a conversation with you, but I forgot I muted Skype, and so I was listening to the stream.
Awk.
Taka.
I don't even know. Let me see. Dashboard, channel, settings. Let's go to settings.
I'm gonna do some research on these people. Let's see what WSU's up against. We got a Lee Sin main, classic. We got a
We got mature content on here.
Fat J, the Thresh King. We got a Fizz main in here. We got a Bane main, and we got a Bard player.
Let me see here.
On WSU's side, we got 4 trolls and some guy taking a shit.
Alright. Damn. Alright, I'm just gonna Google how to change delay. Delay on Twitch. Reduced stream delay for all. How to reduce streaming delay on Twitch. Enable this.
I'm sure all of our viewers right now are just so interested on how to set up a Twitch channel, how to get it running good.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. Log.
Ooh, we got Zifu.
Broadcasters.
We got Zifu. Calfan messaged me. Check Twitch chat.
Simply go
At
to
you
Twitch.
again.
You go to your settings.
Settings.
Oh yeah, I was totally referring to you as the Thresh King.
Videos.
Calfan, best Thresh WSU. Also, I think one of the only Threshes WSU, but that does not change that he's the best.
Stream delay beta.
Alright. What? No, sorry. Reduce stream delay. We encourage to try viewers to see blah blah blah. Alright, we'll try that. Yeah. Alright, save changes. Bam. Profile changes have been made. AC's voice. Let's go to my dashboard. Oh, uh-oh. Something started.
Alright, we're getting right into Champ Select.
Oh, no. Champ Select. Dun, dun, dun.
So, I have a lot of information on WSU. I don't think I should be giving it out right now in case we have any other people watching it, but this team that WSU has, they like to run a very certain type of team style, and I'm going to see if that gets through.
What
With
is...
Azir ban, interesting that they'd ban Azir.
Is Azir... Do you think Azir is in a strong moment right now? I feel like he's sort of the Lee Sin of mid lane. You know what I mean?
To a degree. I think Azir's... Alright, we had a problem.
Uh-oh.
There was a situation.
But there was a situation? Oh, no.
Alright, who's not here? Calfan?
Awk. Awkward moments.
Alright, so let's talk about that Azir ban. The Azir ban, Azir's a good champion. I don't know if they did their research enough, because I feel Donald has a lot more champions that he usually is trying to play right now than just Azir. Maybe they don't like playing against Azir. I know a lot of teams, they like to ban out champions that they just don't want the threat of playing against. So if they know that we play Azir, they're going to want to ban out Azir because they don't like playing against Azir no matter what, even if we only had like a 10% chance of picking it. We lost a bunch of people.
Donald Dang has quit. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What's going on here, boys?
Meanwhile, we see that these ranks, all these ranks, man. People play ranked? Wow. You see, I Crave, another of the I clan. Many of those are seen. Got 183 games won, and he's currently residing in Diamond 5. Meanwhile, you've got Reincarnation. He's probably named Carson.
202 ranked games. One. I play a lot of League of Legends. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like this is what I do. I wake up, I go to school, I come back, I play League of Legends.
He's got 19 for Reincarnation, at least on my screen. And then we've got Vorthros. Nice name there. Just rolls off the tongue quite well. He is Gold Division 3. He's only won 90 ranked games, and since there was a significant drop, he might have been plat in the last season. We could C.
All
in,
right, right
the
now I
loading
think
screen.
we're getting back into the game.
Uh-oh.
Everyone's finally joined up. Let's hope no clients crash this time. OSU versus WSU in a best of 3.
Bum,
Let's
bum,
see these people on the rift.
bum, bum, bum.
So we're going to see an Azir ban again.
Yep, there it is.
Right there. Instantly banned.
Instantly banned.
Echo
A
ban.
for Azir. Echo ban. Uh-oh. No one wants some time tricks being played on them.
Now, Echo's really good in the jungle right now. I'm not sure if they're banning that away from the enemy jungler, but Echo is incredibly good in the jungle. The Runic Echoes is really good on him. He's also very versatile in the top lane. A lot of people playing a hybrid tank AP Echo.
And his base
Which
damage is very high.
Base damage is high. AP scaling is also really high. Echo's one of those champions that you can get away with only buying one AP item because he has really good scaling on his shield that he gets from his W and on his ult. Yeah.
And you can see the Graves ban and Italy ban, so 2 or 3 junglers if you count Echo going down.
I actually think they're top lane bans. I think they're trying to ban out a top laner right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Both Graves and Echo could be considered jungle bans.
Ooh,
They're also seen more prevalently in the top lane.
Now, would you say these bans are targeted towards each team? Are these,
I did not do enough research to know who plays what on the team by name, but these could honestly be jungle or top bans. I'm actually thinking jungle bans because we see Gragas, we see Graves. Those might be the big 3 junglers, but I do remember their jungler playing Lee Sin as his most played. So maybe they're trying to force him onto Lee Sin since Lee Sin's a very good champion, but he requires a lot of mechanics, and they might try to shut down Lee Sin with a side pick or possibly an ult.
Now, you do see Sejuani being picked.
Sejuani being picked? I don't see
lately.
Sejuani being picked now.
You don't see Sejuani being picked lately. All right.
I do not see Sejuani being picked. I do just see something flash, so you're going to actually have to tell me who's picking what, because I can't actually see.
You can't actually see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I'll be able to see it on your stream.
Well, Lee Sin is picked, so
Lee Sin's
Lee
picked.
Sin
All
is
right.
picked for WSU. OSU has picked Nautilus.
So
Now,
no Sejuani.
Nautilus has been seen in the top lane recently, so there's a possibility of a trade. Uh-oh, hovering the Casio. Interesting.
Now I see a counter pick. If that is a Nautilus top lane, Trundle is a very good counter pick because when Nautilus tries to Spider-Man away with his hooks, he can put a pillar in between and prevent him from Spider-Manning away. It'll hit the pillar instead of hitting the wall.
Indeed.
I think the Lee Sin was to take that away from the jungle. I actually think that they banned out the jungler with 3 jungle bans and then picking away his Lee Sin.
You also got the sheer amount of tankiness from Nautilus. Trundle's ultimate is great to sap that away. And you see an Alistar probably going to go in the support role down there.
So that's an Elise and an Alistar. So that is a confirmed Nautilus top lane and an Elise in the jungle.
Alright. Meanwhile, you see Lucian Braum, always a nice lane. You get the double tap for the stuns. Don't see any Ignite on WSU's team yet. If they are thinking
Well,
of
if
choosing.
Ignite's going to be ran, it's usually going to be ran by the mid laner. Sometimes you see supports take Ignite, but usually in a team game, you're going to need that exhaust just to stop the person who gets ahead on the enemy team. It's really, it's amazing peel for your AD carry.
For sure. I usually run exhaust on my spots. Meanwhile, we've got Black Faker. He is Faker, just black, confirmed. He's not hovering anything right now, but the role he's probably looking to go is mid lane. You see Corki, probably AD carry Corki. I have seen Corki mid. Was a thing. It might be Corki mid. Indeed, as you see Ezreal, both of those AD carries, those marksmen, could go to the mid lane. Probably going to be Corki though. Meanwhile, you see exhaust on Israel. Might be some trades going on. I'm guessing that Vorthros is going to be the ADC, judging from the summoners. Top lane will be Reincarnation.
All right, now that I can see the entirety of one team, I'm going to talk about the OSUs, what I think their team is going to end up doing. So they've got a lot of frontline, and they've got Elise, and so their entire team is going to be working around keeping these AD carries alive and keeping them pumping out damage in fights. They've got a lot of burst with Corki and a lot of pick with Elise. So both Elise and Nautilus are great champions for pick. Once Elise hits that cocoon, follows right up with that Nautilus hook, and Corki has enough damage to really, take those people away. If that is a Lux mid, I'm interested to see what WSU runs, because they've also got a pretty beefy front line. So it seems we're going to see a lot of a lot of more drawn out fights, a lot of messy engages if both of these teams want to just run at each other and fight.
Yeah.
And that is a Lux that I see locked in. So Lux is great for teams fights. She's really great for both of these team styles if they want to just run at each other because of how much damage her shield will do for in fights. And now that it stacks with itself, that's even more damage shielded.
Yeah, more support for that beefy front line of Braum and Trundle, and even Lee Sin, if you can account him. He's gonna build a little bit of health in there. He might get super head and build full AD like some other person on the LCS.
Yeah, Dardoch. He's got to get 9 out of his team's 12 kills to go full AD on Lee Sin. But if he does, and he does go full AD on Lee Sin, I will be impressed.
All right, getting some feedback from someone here.
Someone, you mean me? I can move my mic away if that helps.
No. Feedback, as in like actual talking.
Well, I'm sorry.
Someone's giving me advice. Feedback.
All right, so we've got about 2.5 minutes until we enter the Rift right now. It is about a 20-second delay between us and the stream, so you will be more or less up to date with what we know.
I did put the stream delay option on. It supposedly reduced the stream delay by 33%.
Ooh, nice job, Cody.
So we'll see how that works.
Something I'd like to bring up right now is OSU, we don't see an exhaust coming from their team. We see 2 heals, and usually when you see Corki mid, they run exhaust, or you see heal sometimes, but exhaust is a lot more prevalent on Corkis, usually because people like to pick assassins into Corki.
Yeah.
And with no exhaust, they're going to have a really hard time. They already have some solid peel, but having that exhaust is really important when you're up against a Lucian, because Lucian wants to dive in there in every fight. Lucian is really in the mix, and he's a really easy AD carry to exhaust. And I'm not really sure if they need that ignite and that kill pressure necessarily on Alistar, but if they do have that ignite, they're really going to... That shows that they're really going to want to play that aggressive early game, and win bottom lane. They're really putting out a lot of eggs in the basket of them being able to win that 2v2 with that ignite and getting far enough ahead that Lucian won't need to be exhausted late game.
You also don't see a real assassin role aside from perhaps Elise from OSU, but WSU does have Lee Sin to try to dive into the backline.
Corki does a surprising amount of damage. Corki, he was pick banned in LCS, I think, for like 5 or 6 weeks straight. He was one of the most popular picks in LCS, and that's because with Thunderlords and his Q and his auto attacks and just that sheer amount of damage, Corki actually has a ridiculous amount of burst, and so he's almost an assassin. When you get those picks, Corki can execute a target very effectively. So he's not that typical assassin you might think of, but he's still putting out a lot of damage, especially when they get a target picked off.
He's probably on the equivalent of a burst mage, right?
Yeah, he's about a burst mage that also has incredibly strong auto attacks, an incredible disengage, a rumble ult, and a long range sniping tool. So Corki, there's a lot of reasons why we see Corki picked. Corki's a fantastic champion. Riot's done a really good job of making that champion relevant again. And
did you see the Corki commercial? Right?
Corky commercial. This has been sponsored by whoever designed Corky as a champion. They are paying, and they're not actually paying me, but you know, they're paying me in like I don't know some sort of intangible.
Huh. Alright. Does Gorky do
All right,
any...
now we see masteries coming out. We see Grasp of the Undying for both the top laners. Very standard masteries we're seeing. We're actually seeing Warrior's Bloodlust on Lucian instead of the Fervor of Battle for more sustain in the early game. And we're seeing the Fervor on Ezreal. Fervor on Ezreal, pretty standard. You need that you need that to keep up with other AD carries late game, damage-wise. Both supports are running Bond of Stone. So, pretty standard masteries we see come out.
Lee Sin was running Strength of the Ages. Is that a pretty common mastery?
Yeah. So you see, the reason why you see a lot of people running Strength of Ages on Lee Sin is because 300 health is really good. And in these games, you need to be tanky to a degree, because there's a lot of drawn out engages. Strength of Ages gives a really great sustain late game. And Lee Sin's one of those champions that he's really effective early game, but he needs he needs his level 6 to really be useful. And that's where you see all the insect plays, and Strength of Ages helps out a lot. So we're seeing an invade go down right here, and I'm interested to see these collegiate teams pull off early game strategies, because in LCS we see a lot of lane swaps, we see a lot of double jungling, we see a lot of 4v0s coming out, and I'm interested to see these early game plays come out from these collegiate level teams, because they're aspiring to be almost professional level, and
get those scholarships, man. If you win,
I wish
tournaments.
I wish there was more scholarships just given out by the school, but that's neither here nor there. Riot, please.
I don't think that's Riot's area of expertise. They are simply the provider of the game. I think the schools will have to work together to perhaps give some scholarships for that, now that esports is becoming a larger thing.
Alright, so we're going to see Elise starting top side and bot lane doing their grum. That leads into what I said earlier about bot lane really wants to get that level 2. They're really looking for an early game 2v2 fight, at probably around when they get their level 2 spike, and getting that cheese. They are really looking to get ahead in this bot lane. Pretty standard stuff for standard lane setups. Bot lane's going to come in a little bit late because they did start that double golems. We're going to see a small trade in here in the top lane, but nothing really serious. Nothing that Trundle and Nautilus can't heal up with.
Well, they did nerf Nautilus a little bit.
Oh, this might actually be a little bit more of an intense
Nautilus
Trundle
a little too far into the backs up in time. About an even trade.
So both Trundle and Nautilus go pretty low there. Trundle has a lot more sustain early on, mostly because he has that passive 2 or 4% of every of health of the fallen minions, and so we're going to see Trundle healing that up more once potions run their course.
You do see Nautilus able to trade a little bit easier though, because he's got that shield. So
he's got that shield and that immobilization stun. If Trundle doesn't start with the auto attack in that trade, he usually is going to lose out, especially early game.
Meanwhile, mid lane doing some trading as well, about even so far. Might as well move the people around. Let's see who we got.
We see a gank possibly coming off top lane. Trundle's going in. He has pillar. Lee Sin is level 3. And are we going to see First Blood going over to WSU? Possibly.
There's the flash and the bite.
First Blood to something horse of WSU. Great job. Now there's no flash top lane, and Nautilus is going to have to burn his teleport to get back into lane.
Would you like to do play-by-play this?
Oh no, you can do play-by-play.
Okay.
So we see Elise right now, going. She's just finished her more or less full clear, and is still fairly healthy. So we're going to see her probably try to put down some pressure mid, maybe put some pressure bot.
Junglers in the mid lane. You're going to see a flash from
And
Lux. There goes the snare. It does hit. Lee Sin not able to finish him off in the tower. Helps out. Corky gets a kill. That's a misplay by Lee Sin, just a tiny bit. Corky did not die there. when he
Well
definitely
played by
should have.
Corky, actually. Corky was able to flash after. So if you flash right in between when the Lee Sin kick hits you, if you flash just perfectly, I'm not sure if they removed this, but you can actually negate the damage from that second cast of the Lee Sin Q. And Corky flashed away, so he was not in that range.
I have actually
Able
never
to-
heard of that.
Meanwhile-
Meanwhile, in the top lane, you're going to see Trundle getting dangerously low. I'm surprised Nautilus didn't try to keep auto-attacking him. Meanwhile, Nautilus able to just use that Grasp of the Undying. Does a good chunk to finish off the Trundle. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you see Alistar going in. Braum able to hop out there. Even with that Elise gank, no one's going to fall in the bot lane for now. You can see the cool
Flash was burnt on Lucian, though. Lucian did have to flash out of that, so that is an advantage to OSU. Now we see so far, Lucian is ahead in CS, and right now we see actually a lot of CS leads in OSU's favor with them having a 500 gold lead.
In the top lane, you also see the CS lead with Nautilus, and it's 1-1.
Now, with Nautilus against Trundle, we do see that Sunfire cape coming out for Nautilus, which is really huge when it comes to the type of fights you see in the top lane, because they're usually drawn-out fights to a degree. They usually last 5 to 6 seconds, so that Bambi Cinder is really going to be able to get up that damage. And Trundle was not able to finish his Spectre's Cowl, so much more gold on this, much more crucial gold, actually, right now, on this Nautilus, and he's able to finish his buy.
Yeah, he got his Bambi Cinder.
Can't go. I think I'm calling that Bambi Cinder. You know,
Bambi
like the,
Cinder. There we go.
Bambi Cinder. Bambi from the
Cinder.
grave. We're seeing a fight top lane right now.
Trundle getting
The hook
zoned off
missed,
there.
but
Level
Nautilus
6 for
is 6,
Nautilus,
so
yeah.
he does have that lane dominance that Trundle is missing right now.
Now that is a pushed up lane. You have a pink ward in the tri-bush. Lee Sin is there. You might see a fight break out here.
Nope.
Nope.
Ward comes out,
Ward
Lee Sin's
comes
able
out.
to instantly sweep it, but that is blowing Lee Sin's sweeper, so he's not going to be able to catch that ward in the mid lane if he goes down there.
Meanwhile, the junglers are about the same spot. You see ward coverage, early pink wards out, which is always good to have out there. Get that vision, and assuming they are not found, they will last forever.
Nothing lasts forever except diamonds.
Well, we got a lot of diamonds in this this group here, so.
Of course, so if you see the pink ward cleared out in the top lane by OSU, giving a lot more pressure to that team. So right now, you know, because OSU's top lane's winning and they have vision control, Trundle's going to be forced to play a lot further back to the tower. And in these games, you see these collegiate students who might not be used to playing under this amount of pressure before. We're probably going to see a lot more safe decisions coming out from these teams, or we might see the complete opposite of ridiculously risky decisions. And I'm really interested to see, you know, what type of mid-game calls we see coming out from both of these teams, and what team is going to be that first team that takes the step towards trying to aggressively win this game.
I feel like with the Lee Sin, they're definitely going to try for something a little bit more aggressive there, since you oftentimes see Lee Sin's doing activities like that, trying to get behind towers, insec a few 80 carries back into the bot lane. Meanwhile, Elise does not have the level of mobility that Lee Sin has.
And meanwhile, in the bot lane, we do see a CS lead for WSU's team right here. And Lucian is one of those early mid-game AD carries, and where we see Ezreal, also an early mid-game AD carry, but I feel he has a lot more presence in the late game. So if this keeps going out and these teams keep drawing this game out in a very safe style, I'm interested to see which team really starts taking over in these later really volatile fights that we're going to see.
Yeah, Ezreal definitely can do a lot more damage from a lot safer distance, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, we see maybe a fight in the mid lane coming out.
Lee Sin is there. Fight goes past the tower. Safe decision for Corky not to go any farther. You're going to see standard poke from Lux as well. You are going to see a very large CS lead, especially at this stage of the game. 24 CS for Corky up, and that is 1 kill also. Meanwhile, you can see Trundle trying to trade with this Nautilus, and it's almost even. Nautilus ends up ulting, Grasp the Undying going back and forth between both of them, and now Trundle's winning. And Nautilus has to
Nautilus
flash
get the
away.
flash.
Meanwhile, Trundle
Yeah,
flashes as
he
well.
got
The shield
the
is
shield.
back up. Trundle cannot go any farther. The minions and the tower are there to stop him from finishing off this Nautilus.
Flash for flash right
Meanwhile,
there.
Lee Sin, like I said, getting behind these towers, trying to get in that position to finish him off. Not able
There's
to do
no
anything.
shield for Nautilus for another... I don't think Lee Sin can die.
Oh,
Does that
there it
think
is. He gets the shield off. The kick,
Oh.
it finishes it off, and the tank's going to easily get out of that
Gonna get
tower.
away. Is he
Goes
gonna
back
get
there.
away?
Elise is
Elise is
coming,
gonna get
though.
there in 5 seconds.
I think he will be able to get away. Elise not able to make it in time. And Elise actually just
Close.
realizes that and goes for Gromp if you take a look at the minimap.
A fast push down in this bottom lane. We're seeing the Culling come out to push that wave to tower, try to deny the Ezreal and the Alistar some CS and experience. We're seeing that CS lead increase to about 17 CS, and Lucian starting to gain a large amount of gold over Ezreal.
And like you used to, or you did see a CS lead mostly for OSU in almost every lane except for bot lane, but now the majority of the CS is evened out except for the mid lane, but that is then countered by the advantage for WSU in the bot lane. So,
I'm not sure. That's actually about 23 in the mid lane and only 13 in the bot lane. So we actually see the advantage going to OSU. Right now, we do see the gold is actually
it's,
in WSU's
actually
favor.
for WSU.
It's kind of pointless to count that at this point. At this point, we're saying, well, they have
they have a
you know,
tiny
span
bit
of-
more
of
gold.
one player.
Yeah. At this point, the game could go any direction. 2 for 2, 0 towers, 0 dragons, and the CS is negligible at this point.
And we see
Meanwhile, a gank from Elise. You see the repel going out already. The pillar tries to get in the way. Lee Sin is here for the counter gank, and Elise is falling fast. There goes the kick, the last part, and another Dragon's Rage coming in, kicking Nautilus farther into the tower. Does not actually end up taking that. Trundle too low, sticks around too long, gets slain as well. Lux actually ended up roaming up and taking that kill. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you see another fight erupting. You're going to see Braum going after this Ezreal. No one's going to be able to die here, or be slain here, I should say. And just some trade going back and forth is what it all ends up to be.
Now, I gotta say, if Lux did not show up when she did, if Nautilus got one more auto attack off on Trundle, that would most likely have been a dead Trundle. It was a great
It was a dead
rotation
Trundle. It was a dead Trundle.
by Lux.
Meanwhile, you
Corki in
see
mid lane.
both Corki and Lux doing
Looking
tons
to
of
pick up
damage
kill.
to each other. The flash
He's
goes
got
out,
it!
and Corki gets the kill. Meanwhile, you're going to see a bot lane. A fight is also erupting there. Alistar has popped ultimate. Ignite goes down on this Braum. Braum able to just back off. Meanwhile, Lucian wants more of it. He does not have any mana, though. Alistar's ultimate is now down.
Looking to roam down. Elise is looking to make a play on their blue buff right now. They know 12 minutes is roughly about the time blue buff respawns, so they're trying to get some vision onto that in case they can take it. We see Lee Sin actually in the mid lane right now looking for Corki. He's not going to find
Lux,
him.
yeah,
The
Lux is
Scuffle's
not there.
going down in the top lane. This is going to be a wet noodle fight, more or less. Trundle's going to take damage. Trundle's going to give damage.
Trundle seems
Maybe
like he's
Trundle can
winning
actually
here.
catch kill
Pillar
right
is
here.
already down. You're going to see it ends up just being a trade. Trundle disengages. Meanwhile, Lee Sin wants to go in here.
Lee Sin flash.
Ends up flashing. Meanwhile, Elise getting lower, and the damage getting blocked by Braum. That's going to be 2 kills now as Alistar and Elise fall. That's going to be advantage WSU.
As I said before, it's really interesting to see what these teams do in the mid game. Right now, WSU has that advantage, and so it's going to be interesting to see if they stall this game out or they actually are able to group and start pushing their advantage into taking towers.
Ezreal face checks a bush. That is a big mistake, and the flash comes out from Lucian to finish him off. That is something he definitely should not have done.
Face checking a book as Ezreal. Now that's not necessarily the best decision, but maybe stress might be weighing on these players right now. As I said, it's their first time probably playing at a big stage like this, and so mistakes happen.
Mistakes are definitely part of the human element. It's not something that is uncommon.
Going back to that previous fight, though, Lee Sin was able to flash right behind Elise, forcing her to repel, and she had no way to get out of that. She had no flash. She had no way to escape. and Elise's early game, so she's incredibly squishy, and they were able to pick up that Elise kill, which is really showing, the jungle prowess. This is probably why WSU not only banned 3 junglers, but they picked away the number one jungler that OSU's jungler played, forcing him on one of his weaker picks like Elise.
And
we're really seeing a lot of that pay off for WSU right now.
Now you see Lee Sin is 3-1 with 3 assists, and he did not go Trailblazer. He actually went Sidestone.
So this is it's less cost efficient for you to go Sightstone on Lee Sin. Usually you want to just survive off your trinket wards, but in a team game like this, Lee Sin found a pick.
Lee Sin going in does not end up killing the Elise. The heal comes off from Corki.
Be a little bit too deep.
Lee Sin does ward hop over the wall, but Corki can follow with the Valkyrie, and here comes Trundle. Top of the Lux here. You're going to see Corki doing a ton of damage here. The laser goes out, going to hit both of those champions. Trundle still alive, but not anymore. He finally gets taken down, and Lux able to get bursted very heavily by this Corki in what looked like it was a fairly even fight. Meanwhile, in bot lane, you're going to see a ton of damage being bursted out from this Lucian, but ends up no one dies.
I'm saying that to read right there. Calfan, the god. What a read.
Alistar is dangerously low. He does have ult. That's going to take one more auto attack. Finally dies. Meanwhile, Ezreal, dangerously low here. Tries to ult for the kill on Braum. Does not work. And he is running back into WSU's territory. The wall from Braum blocks his death. And that's going to be a kill for WSU. Actually, 2 kills for WSU in the bot lane.
There's a huge amount of CS that the bot lane is going to miss out on. We talked about, just being a 15 CS lead. It is now almost a 30 CS lead. Over a 30 CS lead. It's almost a 40 CS lead and 4 kills on this Lucian. Nice. This plan to get their bot lane ahead really has not gone well for OSU. They took the Ignite. They picked all of these aggressive summoner spells. They did the Krugs early game, and they're down 4 kills.
You also see the Cole coming out. So you got the Cole gold advantage.
That's just a little bit greedy. That's just kind of saying, we know we're ahead, and we're just going to get as much gold out of this as we can.
Meanwhile, Trundle's starting to lose these trades in the top lane, it seems. You know, see,
come into my web.
Meanwhile, Elise barely missing that cocoon missing. There. This is the change in direction from the Braum. Saves him from being stunned.
Corki, however, has 5 kills right now. A lot of OSU's damage and hopes on this game is probably on their Corki. Corki might be their star player, and I think a lot of these teams can really recognize, if they know how to play around this Corki and they know how to play around their star player, OSU could get back into this game so easily. They're actually ahead in gold by 200. They have 2 towers on WSU right now, both the top and the mid tower. And I'm interested to see. Corki's probably looking to pick up the package right now and go for a gank. We see him sitting in base right now, looking at what he can do. Nautilus doesn't have teleport. He walks bottom lane. Alright, we don't see Corki picking up the package right now, which shows that he's not looking to make a roam play. But Elise
gets caught out here. You see the insect kick goes down. Elise has nowhere to go with this repel, and she ends up falling to the Lux laser.
Donating it to the Lux. Now, Lux bought that Dark Seal, and so far we haven't really seen any of the stacks pay off, and getting that kill is really important, because I think it's 2 for a kill, 1 for an assist, and getting those 2 stacks on her is really important. However, if Corki kills her again, she's going to be down to 0, and that Dark Seal is really not going to be worth as much gold as it should be.
Yeah, she's hoping probably to get a lot of assists off of being that utility backline, since you've got Trundle and Braum in the front line.
Another wet noodle fight comes in the top lane. No one dies, no surprise. I remember the days, I think it was a year ago, back when, wet noodles were really big in the top lane.
Meanwhile, you see the turret advantage, as you mentioned earlier, is 2 for OSU.
Another fight? Another wet noodle fight?
Another wet noodle fight in top.
The noodles come out!
And Corki comes in with the package. Trundle's getting lower. He's lower. He has to flash away. He is sapping a little bit more health from that Nautilus as he goes, and Lux comes in. Does not end up hitting the snare, and Trundle dies as he gets hooked.
He hit the snare. He hit the snare, but if Nautilus has QRD cast, it's a snare, not a stop, and it does not stop him from continuing that movement. So Lux hit her Q, however, it wasn't enough to stop Nautilus's Q.
Meanwhile, Lisa's in the bot lane. She's looking for the cocoon over the wall. Ends up backing up. Meanwhile, Lux ulting the lane, trying to relieve pressure from that.
Question is, where is Corky's Medjay? We see the Dark Seal on 1. Why didn't Corky up the ante? You know, the Dark Seal. AP Corky.
Uh-oh. Lux
Bad.
lands that
Corky.
snare, and Corky uses heal. Not gonna be enough. He tries to Valkyrie over the wall, but Lee Sin claims his life before he makes it over.
It was a great catch. I don't actually think he had vision. He predicted where Corky was going to be and was able to hit him with his combo.
You know, he
That's a lot
did
of
see,
angle.
he did have that ward in the bush, but Corky was definitely out of vision at that point, and he ended up ward hopping over the wall.
And that's an assist on Lux. That's another stack.
That is another stack. Well, you see the gold is now slowly creeping upwards.
We're seeing Sidestones on both junglers now. Interesting. I'm starting to forget what year it is, what season it is. Usually they just go trail. Usually they just go Tracker's Knife. I think it is now.
Yeah, I believe so. I might have said Trailblazer earlier for some odd reason.
Now Trailblazer was the old OG jungle item.
All right.
That's back when they would buy the Sidestone.
Well,
The jungle.
Elise soloing this dragon. It's pretty uncontested. Elise has an inkling, but it's too late.
Dragon number 2 for WSU right now. That's turret burn right now, so they're going to be looking to answer back the 2 turrets that they're down with this second dragon.
Meanwhile, you see that Braum and Lucian are able to poke out that Ezreal a lot better. The Alistar did get nerfed with the healing aspect, at least.
Now, Elise has been hovering bot side for quite a long time at this point, and she's suffering in CS. She's about 11 CS behind. Assuming that's all jungle CS, that's an entire clear. I think she's... What level is she? She's 1 level behind, so Lee Sin does have his second ultimate. And if she can't get an advantage off of camping this bot side, it's really going to look scary for OSU once team fights break out and a Fed Lucian with a fully stacked call comes into the fray.
And now some of her camps finally pop up. Starts clearing that red buff. Meanwhile, Pink Ward falls. Oh no.
They know Lee Sin's right here. They know Lee Sin's right here. He's gonna go for the cube.
Ezreal has no mana. The flash has to come out. The teleport from blue team. Nautilus comes in. Easily disengaged by red team. They simply walk away.
Not able to really do anything with that teleport right there. He's got the ZZ Rot top lane, so they're probably gonna look to take out this tower actually right now, putting this amount of people bot lane.
Meanwhile, you've got Corky continuously putting pressure on this mid lane. With Lee Sin in the bot lane. Uh-oh. The teleport comes in. Lise had to repel out. Flash is there. She's probably going to go down. Now she gets knocked up. She is dead, gone. And continuing to push in. This Trundle eating away at Nautilus's health. He finally falls. Ezreal is completely out of mana. You're going to see a continuation of this chase. Trundle is very easily tanky enough to tank this tower. Meanwhile, you're going to see that insect kick goes down on Ezreal. Ezreal walking back the wrong direction once again. Trundle's going to finish that kill off very easily. You're going to see Braum walk through the tower, and it's probably going to be the first tower for WSU now, on top of
at least picking up Eye of the Watch.
Actually 3 kills now.
I'm really confused about this Elise.
4 kills. That was a 4v4.
That was a 4v4, but there was no reason to dive right there. Ezreal had no mana. Your jungler was 0-4, where they had a lot of their Fed members, and they had the teleport. They still had a teleport to come through.
Now, Corky was not in that fight, correct?
Corky was not in that fight.
So, you saw that was a big advantage for WSU there in gold. Because Corky, the main damage, a lot of the gold for OSU was not there. Meanwhile, you had Lucian, who's now 6-0, was there, and you had the teleport in from both Trundle and Nautilus, and then Lee Sin is also far ahead of this Elise at this point in time. So that was a very risky dive, in my opinion.
The Medjay is completed on Lux right now. Both the Medjay and the Spell Thieves completed out. So now we're seeing a lot more pressure in this mid lane. Now they're going to try to put down this Corky, and if Corky can't win enough fights to get them back into the game, This is OSU's real big hope right now. Is
they definitely need
the big Corky's in the play. He has the package. The package is up.
Uh-oh,
They're making
Lux
a
gets
pick right now?
initiated
Pick 'em.
on, but everyone decides
is
to
forced to
disengage. The pillar goes out. Easily walked past. Looked like stuff was happening, but they decided by both teams, let's not do anything about this.
I was excited. CDR boots coming out on Nautilus. A lot of interesting builds. Oh,
Ezreal picking off this Lucian. Very close.
Ezreal has no ult.
Meanwhile, see both Elise
What a hook!
and Corki
What
come
a-
down.
what a
Meanwhile,
decision.
getting snared under the tower. Not very good for Nautilus there. In the bot lane, you see pressure from Ezreal and Elise, as well as this Corki. Corki goes in with the package. The tower's almost dead. It finally falls. Lee Sin getting lower, ends up kicking the Corki away, not doing enough damage. Corki heals, and there's Nautilus to clean up that pick. And now you're going to see Braum fall as well. That's 5 members of OSU in the bot lane against 2. A very easy dive this time. Meanwhile, you're going to see an ult go down. Going to follow Lucian all the way into it. Under the inhibitor tower. Meanwhile, that's a turret down. You're gonna flash hook. The Lucian goes down, and Corki is making his damage count here. You're gonna see a massive push from OSU. This might be an inhibitor down, because you're gonna see only Lux and this Trundle here try to defend this, and they are not able to do so.
Beautiful rotations from OSU right there. They had 2 people mid lane. They realized there was 3 people at the tier 2 turret in bot lane, and they were able to just send everyone down there, cut them off, and use Corki's package to an incredibly effective game. Now this Corki is 7-1. He is the driving force for OSU.
That definitely did a ton of work. Bottom inhibitor down 25 minutes. That is going to put a ton of pressure on. Opens the possibility of having Baron there as super minions.
But isn't Elise getting caught? Is Elise getting caught out right now? She's gonna throw out the cocoon.
Has to
pillar
flash
comes out.
past the pillar. She gets out safely at the exchange.
Elise almost getting caught out right there. They're gonna be going for dragon number 3. We're gonna see if OSU contests this. The mid lane tower still stands, and so WSU is really lacking on towers and map pressure right now. That taking 3 towers in the bot lane and the inhibitor is gonna really be a thorn in WSU's side for the rest of this game.
Oh, you know,
Actually
Corki
going
doing
in.
tons of damage, and you're gonna not.
Is this gonna be a double
Oh
kill?
no! He flashes out of the. Corki with a double kill.
The 2v1 outplay. What a god!
And
Corki is a monster.
Flashes out of the Lux, Lux E. I believe that is Lucent's Singularity.
Successful.
Saves his life and ends up getting that double kill.
Nautilus' ult's coming out. There is no tower for Lee Sin to run to.
Meanwhile, Braum stuck on the wrong side of the wall here. He does have his wall up, but not for much longer. He's going to fall very easily here. Meanwhile, Corki getting pushed on by this Lee Sin. Valkyrie does not succeed, does not go over anything. Meanwhile, Trundle getting pushed on under his inhibitor tower, ends up having to flash out. Meanwhile, Lee Sin sitting here not knowing what exactly he can do. In fact, he cannot do a whole lot. There's Alistar and Nautilus there to help peel
He's going
him.
in.
He goes in this
He's gonna
time.
go down.
It's death for Lee Sin, as I was saying.
Trading junglers.
Meanwhile, Elise stays under the tower too long, and the Q goes out from Ezreal. Almost finishes Lucian off, but that heal ends up
Lux
coming
does
out.
have ultimate up. Lux could possibly have gotten a snipe. We're seeing more damage coming out from this Trundle. I'm not sure if that's the best build in this situation, because there is so much attack damage that's going to be on OSU's team.
While those super minions pushing in, definitely putting a massive hindrance there.
Now we're seeing that Medjai's that was bought in the mid lane now has 0 stacks. It's incredibly risky to buy one of those items, especially when you're a mid laner. It's incredibly risky to upgrade it. Now, Lux is a very easy champion to get. That's probably one of the safest mid laners actually to buy that Medjai's on. But we're seeing a huge gold differential in between, you know, how powerful Corki is right now compared to how powerful Lux is. Because right now that Medjai's is worth just an amp tome, more or less. And that's an entire item that he's down then.
But keep in mind, the goal differential between teams actually is not that high. It's only 3k, and at this point in the game, that's not a lot.
It's only 3k, and that's actually entirely in the mid lane. Right now, the entire 3,000 gold is there's 3,000 gold for OSU's mid lane. There's 2,000 for the top lane, but WSU's AD carry is 2,000 gold ahead. And so I really, WSU fans are probably really hoping that the Intolerable Fate pulls out the Lucian Dougie and really gives people the business in these more drawn out team fights that these teams hope to have.
Uh-oh, the fight almost breaks out here. Lucian misses the Q. Or rather, Elise walks out of range. Meanwhile, you
catch
get
on
the hook
Calfan.
on Calfan. Braum has to get out of here. There's the
Come
Nautilus ult, but probably not on the priority target here. You're going to see
yes,
a flash and the ultimate from Braum. Laser hits many people. You're going to see nobody die yet. Everyone's still alive except for Trundle. He almost makes it out, but not good enough. He ends up falling to Ezreal, sending those Qs out constantly from the backline.
If only he had that little bit of tankiness.
Uh-oh, meanwhile the flash over the wall catches the Lux, and Corki able to do tons of damage, finishing that off.
This is OSU's game. OSU's
This is
going to go
definitely
for
good.
right now.
It definitely looks like OSU's game. It's going to go to the Nexus turret, the last one standing. The Super Minions finished off the previous one. Meanwhile, Nautilus ended up dying as he was just a little bit too deep, and Lucian does do damage, but it is now Lucian against the world as 3 players from OSU able to finish off this Nexus, and that's going to be game 1 going to OSU.
Now I want to say that looked like WSU's game for the longest time. It was WSU. They were ahead. They had the gold. They had the objectives to a degree, and then that fight goes down bottom lane. Corki just massively shows up, takes 3 towers and an inhibitor, and after that it was WSU on the back foot.
Hey, we're on the back pedal there. As you saw, Corki, as you were saying, as we were both saying, Corki had to make the plays for that team. He was the one with the gold, and he ended up showing up big time, especially with that package in the bot lane. Kept that momentum going.
Cody, you need to accept the game invite.
I mean, I just kind of got out of the thing.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Unable to join because game lobby is full.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, OBS is using my other mic, so I can't mute my coughing.
It's okay. If you die on stream, I think we'll get more than 12 views.
Yeah, death on stream. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Too bad we don't have a webcam.
I do have a webcam. So I'm not going to turn it on.
I don't have a webcam. Probably for the best.
Now, what do you think could change or need
Corky's gonna get his ass. Corky's gonna get banned. Corky is off the table. I guarantee there is a Corky ban right here.
And Corky was definitely...
An Echo ban.
No, Echo ban once again.
I could be wrong.
They perhaps thought that Corky just getting big was a fluke, and they can deal with him.
Azir banned again?
Azir is once again banned. I don't know. Is that... I want to say that might be a target ban, but I don't know if Donald playing Azir.
Donald plays Azir, but Donald's Azir isn't what he's known for, I think. He's more known for other champions, kind of more control mages. Graves is banned again. Are they going to ban the Gragas? Are they going to stay with the same bans? They're taking the Zed away. I know Donald plays a good LeBlanc. And the Corky ban.
There is the Corky
Not
ban.
want to
You
allow
called that
Corky to
right there.
steamroll again.
Nidalee is still up. It was banned last game. Now, last I heard, Chutnitawa played Nidalee, so... Oh, there's a Nautilus ban.
Interesting. So, Nautilus
And
being
there's the
banned,
Nidalee pick.
there is no Nidalee ban.
Yeah, it went through. It's picked. It's locked. It's blue teams. It's WSU's.
That's great for Mazen. Mazen's Nidalee is... I've played against him on Nidalee. Nidalee is by far his best champion. Mazen's really good at a power farm kind of style of jungle, and leaving this Nidalee up is great for WSU.
Meanwhile, you get Gragas, another ban-worthy pick. Being
Now
Hubbard.
let's see if this jungler really performs on Gragas. Because last game, he had 3 target bans and a target pick against him, and honestly, he did not perform on Elise. That was not the reason why their team did so well. So maybe Gragas is one of his champions that he's very proficient on, and we might be able to see more of an equal playing field between the junglers this game.
Yes, I'd like to see a pretty good Gragas here. Be interesting to see. Meanwhile, we've got Black Faker playing the black guy.
All right, little. All right, Cody. All right, now we do see Lucian taken away from Intolerable Fate, and Intolerable Fate did a good job on Lucian. He did. He had the best score on his team, and I'm interested to see. He's looking like he's gonna go for the Twitch right now. Tell me if I'm right and they lock in. But Twitch and Braum, very good. It's very easy to protect the Twitch when you play Twitch and Braum. And with an Italy, that extra attack speed buff is really going to help Twitch sweep these fights pretty hard.
For sure. The big thing about Twitch, though, is he's not a mobile AD carry. He
is not a mobile.
He needs
he might
a
not
good
be
amount of
mobile.
peel and protection. And picking that into Gragas is a little risky, in my opinion.
Now, where he might not be mobile, he does have an ult that gives him, I think, 200 range, which makes him, it makes him a lot easier to, be positioned. And they do have Braum, who is there to protect him. So when you see these mobile AD carries, you usually see teams picked around them to give them a lot of protection.
But will Braum be enough for that? Or will there
They
be
got
2
2
more
more
picks to put in a good amount more appeal?
Now, the dream when you have a Twitch is you've got Twitch, you've got Braum's pretty good, you've got Nidalee pretty solid, and what we're going to see hopefully next is a Lulu and another Lulu. We're going to hope out for 2 Lulus. And this Twitch is just going to be unkillable.
2 Lulus?
2 Lulus.
Two Lulus. Uh-oh, you're going to see 3 members of the team off of OSU wanting to get in Twitch's face, and you're going to see 2 very beefy picks on WSU as well.
Twitch does not. I don't think Twitch wants to see an Alistar and a Maokai. The only thing to make that team more scary is if instead of having Lucian, they had Sivir.
Uh-oh, and Poppy changes. That's still a good pick. Poppy is not a bad champion, in my opinion, at least. Everyone differs, I suppose. And apparently Something Horse thinks Poppy's worth playing as well.
Poppy's really good, actually, into this pick. So Poppy's really good against Alistar, really good against Nautilus. I don't know if I think she stops Nautilus's dash. Really good against Lucian, because Lucian can't dash into that in that W. And Gragas also can't dash. So Poppy and Cho'Gath are actually really good peel picks
I believe
for this Twitch.
I believe that Maokai actually goes untargetable, so I don't know if his is stopped.
There's only one way to find out. We're going to find out.
We're going to have to find out.
All right, bets on the table. Oh, someone, don't ban our chat. Don't ban our chat. We've only got 13 of them. Take it away. Oh my God, Cody, who did you put in the mod? This is not what Demacia deserves.
Dang it, Phantom, no.
I know. All right, boys, it's time to. We will not be
Oh,
silenced.
Black Faker is actually not playing Lucian. It's 4 throws once again on the 80 carry. So you see the trade there.
What rules?
You do see a good amount of peel for that Twitch, indeed, though. You got Braum. Poppy is amazing at peeling, and just standing on Twitch as Cho'Gath is going to do wonders.
Oh God, he's starting to delete messages. Cody, what have you done?
What?
Cody, unmod your mod.
Message deleted.
Messages. Let my people meme. Let my people meme, Cody.
I believe he will make the right decision.
Cody.
I
Go to-
trust.
let my people meme.
Meanwhile, we've got a 2-minute and 50-second delay to talk about all of the fancy things you think these teams can do. Let's see. We got 2 teleports. That is something to note off of Cho'Gath and Poppy. So you're going to have a little bit more global pressure from WSU this time with the double teleports. You've got good engage by... I'd say the engage war is probably won by OSU.
Definitely by OSU. Oh, right now WSU, they didn't pick a team that wanted to engage. They're picking a
picked
team that
Appeal.
wants to keep this Twitch alive,
Exactly.
and they're picking one of these teams that's meant to fight hard engaged teams. So they keep Twitch alive and they win fights. Twitch, even though they have this incredibly beefy front line, as long as they can't get to Twitch, Twitch will be able to shred through them just because of the sheer amount of damage Twitch does, and it's all AoE damage. It's all his shots are going through people, and he's going to have that hurricane. And so as long as WSU can hold the line and prevent these tanks from reaching Twitch, they will see this. They will win this game, hopefully.
No.
On OSU's side, OSU's... they want the exact opposite to happen. You're going to see flashes on Maokai being blown to get that ball onto Twitch, and you're going to see
The wombo.
everything,
You got
for
the
that.
womboest of the combos. Yeah. I honestly... the mistake I see happen a lot for teams that are built like WSU's is that they switch roles in the fact that they then go on the offensive. They're ahead. They have the gold lead, but they start playing against their team comp. They actually start trying and struggling for these engages when it's not nearly as strong as, say, OSU's is. And then they end up going for a dive and not succeeding and struggling against that because they're focusing more on engaging versus peeling. They're not letting OSU walk into them. So that is one mistake I don't want to see WSU make this game, because they've crafted the team comp not to engage, but rather to disengage. Meanwhile, we've got only 24, 3, 2, 1 seconds until we get to see loading screens, and then you get to look at
I'm going to write
pretty
down
pictures.
these masteries.
Yeah,
I'm going to write down these masteries, and
you gonna write them down?
if there's anything out of the blue. Last game we saw really standard masteries. Good masteries on both teams. And I'm expecting, Strength of Ages, junglers, Bond of Stone supports. I don't think anything will be too out of the ordinary.
You're gonna see Thunderlord's Decree on everybody.
Oh, I remember Thunderlord's Decree on literally everything. Back before any of the other masteries did anything. I remember, you take Fervor of Battle, or you would take Thunderlords. And there was no other masteries.
I mean, unless you were Trinimir, and then you might take the crit one, maybe.
Oh, that's right. The very start of the season, everyone was taking the crit one. All 18 carries. It was that one and then Thunderlords.
And then everyone's like, "Wait, Thunderlords is really good."
Because they nerfed all the other masteries into the ground.
Did they?
Standard
Oh, game is paused. 2 seconds in, and the game is paused.
game is paused. All right, boys.
All right, who won the skin war? I didn't pay attention.
I won't be able to tell you. I'm pretty sure there's a skin on... Poppy doesn't have a skin, and I think everyone on OSU's team has a skin.
Uh-oh.
Someone was in the restroom. Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, we're seeing this game. Get on the Rift, and I'm going to give you a discount double check on those skins. So do we count Unchained Alistar as a skin?
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
All right, so WSU winning the skin war right now, actually, with two members of OSU not having a skin. So already advantage WSU. More money.
There'll be 2
And as we all
minus
know, Riot, gives you more stats with better skins.
there are some advantages that skins can give, such as particle effects that are a little bit harder to spot. but I don't
And
think...
the Nunu bots laugh.
Yeah, that is ultra tilting. That gets in people's heads. That is by far a gigantic advantage. That's
It
why
would
you
just be
have to...
greatest if you ever killed someone with Nunu. They could only hear that laugh for the entire when they were dead. All they hear, and it just gets progressively louder.
It definitely is the reason why if you're going to play Nuna, you have to run Nunabot. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Mayokai taking some investigative maneuvers.
No, he
Spots.
didn't. I don't actually think he might have seen. He's seen the traps now, so they know where where WSU is starting. They know Italy's starting blue side, and that's going to allow Gragas to start red side, and both teams are going to do jungle camps.
Indeed. You're gonna get the...
So really no advantage to anyone there. Maybe advantage to OSU because I think Gromp hurts less than the double camps, but I could also be entirely wrong.
I don't know. Meanwhile, you see Cho'Gath mid. Not something you see every day, but I myself have played it. I like it.
Now, I could always ask my roommate, the captain Cho'Gath, on what he thought of Cho'Gath mid, and he'd probably tell me something like, I haven't played League in 6 months, Dave, while you're talking to me. But Cho'Gath mid was a big thing in the LCS over the summer. And this is a pocket pick.
Well, you're gonna see...
This is a pocket pick for Donald. So, Cody, please tell your mod to stop banning people, because I'm getting messages right now telling me that they're not allowed to watch. They've been kicked out. So he's gonna come back and watch the stream when he's unbanned.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
So tell your mod to not ban people, please. We only have 14 viewers, and I love them all. Even the OSU viewers, I love them actually even more. Oregon's a beautiful state.
Anyone was... Oh, he said he didn't ban anyone. Did you silence him? Did you mute him?
Do you think Ted would lie to me?
I don't think Ted would lie, but I also don't think Phantom would lie.
All right, let's get focused back on the game. We can deal with mods later. The fight for the shield. Winner Poppy. Now we saw an early scuffle down in the bottom lane. This has cost both bottom lanes their 80 carries potions.
But you see the mana advantage being...
Mana advantage?
Mana advantage, yeah. You don't often talk about the mana advantage, but you see it here.
Tell me about the mana advantage, Cody.
It's on Lucian.
To a noob like me, what is mana?
Mana?
You can actually just break it down.
Okay, so mana is this interesting resource that a lot of champions
But we
use.
were seeing a
Not all of them.
fight down
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, you see Lucian having to flash away. You're going to see, Twitch getting pushed into the Gragas gank through the lane. Meanwhile, a teleport comes in. You're going to see Braum getting dangerously low. He flashes out. The exhaust goes down. And first blood goes to the Lucian. Meanwhile, Twitch flashes in, trying to get that as well. He's going to go down. It is a 1-for-2 in the bot lane. Meanwhile, you're going to see an Italy Spear trying to get thrown out there. Maybe pick something up, but it does not land. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you're going to see some wet noodles.
They're not too wet. They're not too wet right now. They're pretty
pretty dry.
They're pretty brittle. They die pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean they're both tanks. They both heal and stuff.
Usually early games where you see the closest top lane scuffles.
Yes.
Now right now mid lane there are no summoners on WSU except the flash on Poppy burnt her summoner burnt her flash at some point. So there are no summoners on WSU except Nidalee Slash and Poppy's teleport. So OSU has about a 5-minute advantage to really pressure the map and get their bot lane ahead.
And that is that's a lot of disengage. Those summoners being gone, a lot of flashes down. That we were talking about the ability to disengage is definitely wanted for WSU. Meanwhile, Lucian and Twitch trading back and forth. It's about even.
I'd say advantage to Lucian. Just that Lucian did a little bit more damage, and Twitch is healed up with a potion, but Lucian still has one more potion. He has the biscuit.
As for the CS, you're going to see Cho'Gath actually losing out right now in the mid lane.
He did teleport bot lane. It is a side effect.
It is a side effect of teleporting, trying to get that global pressure in for the counter gank it was, but it ended up not paying off, unfortunately, for WSU. Meanwhile, standard lanes going on. Nidalee farming the jungle over there. You see smiting the wolves there. It's the nice Spectre to keep watch. And you see 2 pink wards out so far for OSU, but none right now active for WSU.
Now, right now, we're seeing the trackers knife come out for Gragas this game. You know, both junglers had their fun with Red Smite game before, and this game they're saying, you know, that Sidestone wasn't actually that efficient of an item. I'm gonna buy the jungle version of Sidestone. This is a lot of CS for Cho'Gath to get in the mid lane.
Hopefully he doesn't miss too much. He is pulling off the tower.
You
does
do get
claim
level 6.
3.
Got his feast up, gonna stack that fast.
You see Gragas and Maokai looking to put some pressure on Cho'Gath in mid, but they decide to back off. Take a look at that minimap. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you see Harass going back and forth.
That's a good trade for WSU right there. You know, they got a lot of free damage on the Lucian, who is ahead, and now they're gonna look to pull off the gank. Now they will be spotted by the ward.
Gank. You're gonna see a stun go off. That is not a level 6 Alistar, so he's not able to take a whole lot.
Beautiful
pulverize.
Fantastic pulverize from that Alistar.
Oh, and finally goes down. Twitch gets it with the poison. Meanwhile, you're gonna see Gragas walk in.
Twitch. Now that was a really well executed play
You're
by
gonna see Donald getting some damage in there. Not enough to ult, or perhaps the ult was down. No, it is up.
It was up. He did not have enough. With that Orianna shield, he was not able to do that, and because he didn't have flash, it was too risky for him to dive against an Orianna ult.
Meanwhile, the fight is in the top lane. Oh, it does stop.
Or something worse.
Or no, wait, no, it doesn't.
Mid lane, we see Gragas waiting in the wings. Gragas is waiting in the wings. They should know Cho'Gath doesn't have flash. They should go in right now. They know Gragas has ult and Cho'Gath doesn't have flash. Gragas goes mid, but is unable to get the kill.
Meanwhile, you're going to see a fight going down once again in the top lane. This time, Poppy's winning, but not uses the ult flashes. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you're going to see Lucian almost dead. Only a few more auto checks needed. Killfan goes down to the Alistar, keeping him in that tower range far too long. Meanwhile, the stealth is only going to do the speed for him as the tower sees him, but Alistar does not have his combo back up.
Incredibly unfortunate for WSU right there.
The Alistar arrived just in the nick of time for that. Meanwhile, Poppy, it does not stop the dash, as you saw.
I actually think it might knock him up when he arrives. But once you're arrived and you have this,
you ended up just
the
seeing
stun on them.
Meanwhile, Nidalee comes in to make sure that the chase from Maokai goes no farther.
That was heartbreaking to see in the bottom lane. Walking out with that little amount of health, that's hard to see as a player. Especially when you have the summoners up to secure the kill.
It's like when the enemy laner gets away, you're playing something like Leona in the bot lane, they have a skin with sunglasses on, get away with 1 HP. Oh.
You know, I never really care if they get away with 500 HP, but if they get away with 5 HP, that's when I really kick myself.
God, man, you're supposed to calculate that.
Calculated? Maybe calculated on their part. Now we're seeing Nidalee playing that farm style jungler, even in farm with Gragas right now.
That's probably not a good thing. Should be ahead of Gragas, I would imagine.
Nidalee has ganked just as much as Gragas though right now, and she does have that Hunter's Potion for increased jungle sustain. Now we see a lot of aggressive wards on OSU right now, so they're tracking Nidalee right now, and they have a lot of wards in their jungle. This is going to be pretty good for OSU when they're making these decisions on where to pressure in the map. And right now we see no real we see very small advantage. We could count pennies and say, OSU's 500 gold ahead.
500 gold lead, man. There it is.
we saw how explosive last game was.
Well, the fight in the top lane, no one is there to follow up, but the pings come out. Orianna was missing, so Poppy had to back off there, but Orianna's actually in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, you see Gragas going after this. Nidalee, the ult hits, the ball is on. Gragas going to speed him up. Meanwhile, in the top lane also, you're going to see a dive. But no, there's the ult for the kill. You're going to see Poppy get away just barely.
The camera was like, we already know what's going down right here. Let us show you some action in the top lane.
Meanwhile, the Nidalee did fall in the jungle there from the chase of Gragas and Oriana. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 there overall in the map.
It was a calculated trade. Both teams were like, all right, so Maokai, you're going to die top.
Oh, the teleport comes in, and Twitch is too low.
He's
he finally gets invisible right under the tower as Lucian closes range. Only one more auto attack. The Potion is sinking. Finally, Poppy claims the kill. Meanwhile, you're going to see Cho'Gath coming in here. Flashes in, gets the silence on. No dashes available as Poppy's there. Finally, the dash. Poppy does the headbutt over the wall.
He headbutted Poppy over the wall and saved him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cho'Gath is looking. Can he get the kill? He has the feast up.
He just is not able to close enough distance, put any more damage.
And he's
on
just
it.
baiting.
But
He's baiting now. He's a smart cookie. He's a smart cookie.
Oh, meanwhile, with those kills, you're gonna see Dragon get taken here. Dragon
Great
number
plays
1.
by WSU. Even though we don't see a huge gold lead, them trading those kills was wonderful. That was a great showing of rotations as a team.
That was very unfortunate that Alistar ended up headbutting the Poppy over the wall, and then Gragas went over as well, trying to escape the death.
Mistakes happen.
Oh, it was very unfortunate there.
Now I'm interested to see this mid laner, Fat J. I'm interested to see if he can have as big of an impact that he had on Corki on Oriana. Because we saw amazing Corki plays, and I want to see this game break into that mid-game team fight, and I want to see some pretty crazy wombo combos and see if he's really able to pull it off.
Here comes Gragas. He was there, did not see Gragas in the bush, and Twitch is dead almost instantly. That was extremely fast for Twitch dying.
I mean, you're up against Illusion. You're up against Gragas Ultimate.
Alistar.
Did good to survive that long.
Yeah, it's a good amount of burst from all of those champions.
However, in the top lane,
You see Red Buff doing a lot of work there.
that's a 3-kill Poppy. That's a 3-kill Poppy ready to get really frisky with that Maokai.
Knows he can win the fight. Wants to go for it. Might see another dive. You see pokes coming out just from that buckler throw. And wards getting cleared all over. Standard play. You can see a lot of these aggressive jungle wards, as you mentioned earlier, still being put out and now being scanned away. Meanwhile,
This is a lot of CS missed on Twitch. Right now, Twitch it's the same CS
here
differential
comes
that
the
they had.
Twitch.
in
The
game
ult
before.
comes out,
They
does
want
not
to win.
hit anyone. That was a very bold ultimate. As
That was
Lucian did
that was
have
a little
his
bit of
dash
a
up.
questionable play. Meanwhile, in the mid lane,
In the
are we
mid
gonna
lane.
see the feast?
No, not going to see the feast, the knockup,
I
and
wanna
the
see
silence
the
is already
chomp.
there.
I want to see someone give him the chomp.
Meanwhile, Gragas comes in from WSU's
Nidalee
jungle,
here,
but
though.
Nidalee is here as well. The knockup
There's a
there
lot of
does damage.
There's a lot
And
of damage
able.
coming out
Uh-oh,
of
Nidalee misses the
Nidalee,
spear.
they
Gragas
take
might be able to
the
make it over the
auto
wall. Finally, the auto text claims it. Meanwhile, Maokai getting chased on as well. The slow is out there, but probably not safe enough to go into the turret for Poppy. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you see Oriana getting dangerously low, and the spear lands for Maokai's death. And Nidalee claims that kill.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lucian is very far ahead, almost just as far ahead, less far ahead than Intolerable Fate was last game, but he does have a 30 CS advantage, which is a lot of gold in this pocket. We see Twitch with a completed item, but Lucian's right now sitting on 1,700 gold, and is about 1,000 gold ahead. And so once he picks up that Essence Reaver and probably his starts building that Static Shiv, we're gonna see a lot more probably fights in this bottle, and we're gonna see Lucian getting even more aggressive with that Alistar.
For sure.
I like to bring up that
Gold
Alistar
is
once again took
doing
Ignite.
anything
They once
for you.
again don't have an exhaust
Uh-oh,
on
Nidalee
OSU.
is here in the back. And the teleport comes in. They probably want to just disengage here. Lucian doing good amount of damage, even with that large pool of gold that he's just sitting on.
That was a good disengage by WSU. The
Definitely.
teleport took a little bit too long to complete, and that gave both Nidalee and Braum just enough time to escape the CC that OSU had.
I mean, I only see Calphon giving a few laughs out. Teleport is wasted. Maybe get a little into the heads of OSU.
It's a mental game.
You know, I can see
I'm
the
saying
last
Italy-
bit of Lucian's mana being used to clear that lane and back off.
All right, now let's see if what WSU does right now. So we're gonna see their jungler back. So we're probably gonna see both teams back. We're seeing the tower kill on the top lane, which is giving WSU that 2,000 gold advantage. He's gonna clear up the pink ward. I want to see if Poppy can have as big of an impact that Corki had from the last game, because right now Poppy is incredibly fed.
So I mean,
Oh,
Italy
you
is
see
also
some
sitting
action
on
in
a
the
ton of
mid
gold.
lane.
Meanwhile, you're gonna
Are
see
we
some
gonna see
knockouts.
the
Oh, the Bravo
Are we
goes
gonna see
out.
the
People are wanting to disengage. WSU does not want to go in on this right now. Meanwhile,
Oh,
the knockup
shit.
catches Gragas. He dashes out. Belly flops out of there. Meanwhile, you're gonna see the spear land there. The flash leap claims the kill on Alistar. Meanwhile, Nidalee kind of in a dangerous place here, getting chased down by this Gragas. Lucian doing tons of damage, claims that kill as well. But you're gonna see Gragas and
Let's see
Lucian
what
in
they
a
can
very dangerous position now. They're in their own right, as you see 4 members of WSU going in for this tower dive, and you're gonna see Poppy ends up going in alone. Kind of slight amount of miscommunication here. You're going to see Lucian picking up another kill. Kalfan on Braum having to flash over the wall as Maokai shows up. Meanwhile, Twitch, very dangerous position right here. He ends up getting out jukes down. Meanwhile, you're going to see Donald Dang on Cho'Gath getting picked off from Orianna being in the right spot at the right time. Meanwhile, she tries to go for Braum as well. Braum ends up throwing that shield out just in case. He's going to stay alive. Probably not a very good place to back, though. Might be chased on. Oh no, Lucian flashes up the wall, gets the kill on Braum too. That is extremely bad for WSU right now. Just a slight bit of miscommunication.
It was a great play till it wasn't. Like Skara said about Coast, they're winning until they're not. And it was a great catch by WSU, but people tend to overstay, and they see this.
The lack of commitment. Uh-oh,
Action.
another fight going out. A teleport coming in. The Poppy gets the stun.
Double
Nom
teleport.
on the on the Mayo guy. Meanwhile, you're going to see 3 of WSU going after this
Mayokai?
Alistar. Mayokai is already gone. Got nommed. Meanwhile, you see Poppy
Top lane
Poppy
faster.
fighting the wrong fight here, chased the wrong direction. That is one thing that I have started to notice is this communication, the synergy with Poppy in the top lane is they're not on the same page as the rest of WSU.
Now there is a language barrier. I do have confirmation that their top laner not an AD.
And tons of
The
damage from
100 to 0.
Orianna.
Fat J giving him the fatty ult, that fatty amount of damage with that. So he has Rift Herald right now. That's 10% bonus damage, and he has
Thunderlord.
Void Staff.
He also has Thunderlords, and that
He
procs.
also has Thunderlords. That was a very large amount of damage coming out. I did not expect that personally.
Usually
Let's see.
you don't see Orianna's hurting that much.
We have Cho'Gath coming down. Cho'Gath does have these, and so they shouldn't be able to take it away from him. But they need to get Cho'Gath.
And it actually goes to Gragas after all. Meanwhile, this is an extremely bad position for all of WSU remaining in the Baron or Dragon Pit. And Cho'Gath and Braum goes down, and the Dragon goes to OSU. This is looking very grim for WSU as you see all of these confrontations not going in WSU's favor.
They were winning until they were losing. Meanwhile, we see Twitch trying to look for a pick right here. OSU's mid laner honestly having a fantastic showing in this best of 3 series.
For sure, 4-0 now.
So far. Last game, 11-2 on Corki. Now it's not over yet for WSU. As I said at the start of this game, Twitch, their team comp is all around Twitch getting damage in these mid-game team fights or mid and late game team fights. So WSU is only going to get stronger from here on out. Poppy's going to get tanky. Poppy got a Mob Valmortis early, really banking on that 3-0 that 3-0-3, a lot of kills, getting that pressure in lane. However, she's just going to get tankier and tankier as the game goes on. Nidalee's going to also get tanky. She's also going to be able to buff up Twitch later in the game. And Cho'Gath's going to, once again, get tanky. We're going to get all of these beef tanks sitting in front of Twitch, making sure that all of this dive is not going to be able to get to Twitch. And as long as Twitch has Mercurial and Flash Up, Orianna should not be able to kill him.
And you also see that you have a lot of magic damage. I think 4 of the 5 characters are magic damage for OSU.
That's right.
So if Lucian goes down, a lot of that magic resist that you see everyone on WSU stacking is going to come in real handy.
But you can't always just, predict that, you can't always put all the eggs in the basket that
Yeah.
their AD carry's not going to exist in a fight. Lucian, he does
do
we
damage.
talk a lot
He's
about these people being B-line initiators, but he can peel just as well.
Uh-oh.
Is he going for the assassination?
Oh, he goes
He's got
for it.
the
There he goes. This is a flash knock. And you're going to see the Nom going out. Meanwhile, you're going to see another massive initiation here. Prom ult and everything else goes out. Twitch getting knocked away by this Alistar. He sacrifices himself to try to get Twitch out of the fight. Meanwhile, he is still alive. And he's still there. The pin on Lucian lames him. And this fight goes right into WSU's hands. Twitch is still alive. Lucian is dead, and now Maokai falls as well, and this could be a gigantic swing of momentum for WSU. They could choose to Baron right now, or they could go for the second tier mid. It looks like they're going to Baron.
This is going to be Baron. So right now, that's exactly what I was talking about with WSU having that Twitch being able to sit in the back line, and they took Orianna out at the start. Orianna was in a terrible position at the start of that fight. WSU got that easy kill, and then no one was able to pressure Twitch for the rest of the fight. No one was going to be able to get to them. And right now, Cho'Gath has feast up. They should not risk this in a Smite War. Cho'Gath needs to feast it.
Oh, he did
Cho'Gath
feast it, and the pin goes down. Gragas goes over the wall, ends up dying for it. And Baron is very secure on blue team now. No way to steal that away anymore. So that is a gigantic swing. You actually see the gold lead pop back into WSU's favor, in fact. And the towers are 2-3, Dragons 1-1. So WSU is definitely still in this game if they operate in the way they should, the way their team fight is set up. They have a very good chance of winning this game still.
Now, I'm really excited to see what WSU does with this, because WSU they've had good rotations as a team. As long as they're rotating around, it seems, Nidalee and their mid laner, they're getting a lot of stuff done. And now that they have Twitch and Nidalee and Baron buff, Dragon's not up for another 2 minutes. They've got to take some towers. They've got to even up this tower differential right now and increase that gold lead they have. Now, I'm not sure if Orianna's going to be caught out again, but if she is, that's what WSU really needs to be looking at right now. They've shown that they win the fight when they don't have any Orianna to dish out the damage, and they need to be able to protect that Twitch. And so I'm excited to see if they go for more picks, or if they're looking to just go for the standard fight and
It looks like they're
sieging
going
up
a
with
little
Twitch.
bit of a split push right now. As you see Cho'Gath pushing that mid lane.
The mid lane split push, the classic mid lane split push.
So it's 1-1-3. You can see a tower going down on the bot lane as mid lane is rotated.
Small fight in the top lane. They're getting to that point where they really are just wet noodles.
So it is now 3-3 in the tower advantage for war. It's 'cause there's no
Flash
damage now.
Maokai.
As an interesting, it's kind of a Twitch flash reaction, I would suppose. Probably didn't need it.
That was good.
But
If he got knocked up right there, I don't think he would have died, but it wasn't a position that he wanted to risk. It was 20% chance that he was probably going to die there. He didn't want to take that chance.
20%?
He flashed away.
How did you come up with that? Do you have like a chance calculator?
Yeah, I played like 10,000 games. I consider myself to be almost a primary source when it comes to thinking about
Percentages and chances.
when things are going to go down.
Meanwhile, this Baron buff only been used to take out one tower so far. They do need to wait for Twitch before doing anything else. Dragon is up, so that's going to be the next contested objective. Let's see if OSU wants to contest it at all, as they don't seem to be rotating to it. 2 people back for OSU.
Baron is gone for almost every member of WSU.
This looks like it's going to be a completely free Dragon. OSU does not want to contest that at all. Meanwhile, Lucian does not want to get caught out here. He does not.
So good job by WSU right there. They had the Baron threat still, so they maximized it. They got I don't think they got any towers, but they got a lot of
They
pressure.
got one. They got one in the bot lane.
They got one in the bot lane and a dragon. So that's taking the Baron gold and some extra map pressure and getting themselves about a 2,000 gold lead, which isn't that much, but it's better than a 2,000 gold deficit.
Meanwhile, their split push here is enabling WSU's
It's
team
keeping the
comp.
Orianna mid lane.
Yes, yeah.
It's keeping the Orianna mid lane, which is incredibly important. OSU's mid laner is their star player, and if they can keep that, if they can keep Orianna separated from the team, nice rupture there. If they can keep Orianna separated from the team, they will win.
You're gonna see a lot of poke coming out from this Nidalee.
They've got a good siege comp. Both Nidalee and Shogath able to get out a lot of poke.
And
Now
disengage.
Poppy's rotating down, so Orianna's going to be there, and we're going to have a 5-on-5 bottom lane siege.
The top lane looks like it's got enough minions to start pushing.
I'll give you a check right there. So top lane pushing towards OSU.
So if they keep
Poppy's
them bot,
back
they
in the
could
mid
get a
lane.
good amount of minions sieging that top lane tower. Meanwhile, Poppy is mid, takes that tower.
Poppy needs to run. Poppy might get collapsed on right here.
Meanwhile, Pink Ward
Probably
stops
not. They saw
everyone.
Ward and
Pink Ward stops everyone.
once you see the ward, you understand that there's no way anything could happen. That's a joke. I mean, you can probably make stuff happen. Bad joke, babe. Ooh, Poppy with a red buff steal.
And Baron buff now gone. Uh-oh.
Baron
He
buff's
might
gonna
be in a
completely
bad spot
fly.
here. No?
I'm not sure. I don't think Maokai can really do anything to stop her. Once Poppy gets going, unless Maokai can get heavy CC on her, I don't think there's any.
Well, Orianna was going in that direction as well, and Alistar was also in the area, so could have possibly spelled doom for Poppy, but
And right now,
Maokai
Poppy's
decided
backing up. Poppy's backing up right now. She's gonna finish her dead man's plate, so she's continuing to get even more tanky. We see a Roa completed on Nidalee. We see a fully stacked Roa on Shogath. And we're seeing Twitch. He got his Hex Drinker, and now I'm thinking he's probably going to get a Last Whisper. And he's got that Hurricane, so he's got a lot of damage right now. He's probably got more damage than Lucian for team fights.
Considering the AoE capability of Twitch, I would have to agree with you. Lucian, in single target aspect, I think might win, but
Possibly.
the team fight is
We can
not
speculate
a
all we
one.
want, but at the end of the day, only one of these teams can, have the AD carry that pumps out the damage.
While if mid lane is engaged on right now, Orianna and Alistar and Maokai are away from this, so it's kind of a sketchy position. You don't go for anything though. Lots of defensive wards on the map from red team, or OSU.
Now, I think what WSU is trying to do right now is they know that they need to. They're playing around Baron. They're playing around when they can force that next team fight because their Twitch is so big right now. However, if Gragas is a pick right here,
Gragas did not successfully knock anyone towards
that was
them.
close.
It was close. Now, WSU probably does not want to start the fight. They want to disengage from the fight.
They want to force the fight.
Exactly.
And so when you force a fight, you're forcing them to fight you. And if you force them to fight you, that's what WSU is all about. That's what WSU's team is all about, is disengaging for that Twitch and letting Twitch rack up to all the damage that they can. So right now, OSU's making that push down the mid lane, and they're going to try to get that mid lane tower, because they got them cut off.
Don't want to fight in a corridor here, especially
Don't
against
want to
that
fight
team.
They're going to try to take.
Uh-oh, the teleport coming in from the top lane.
Flank is coming
Maokai
off.
didn't see it
Cho'Gath
to interrupt
got-
it. You see Cho'Gath here coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage, gets knocked away, disengaged. Meanwhile, you see Twitch in a safe spot here. You see Poppy alone against three of OSU, but she stays alive. Meanwhile, you see Lucian and Orianna in a bad spot. Orianna going to go down very easily here. Nidalee claiming that kill, but 3 members of OSU still alive. But definitely one fight by WSU.
That's two. It's a 2 for 0 on WSU. 2 more kills on Italy. So Italy's going to complete that void step that much faster.
And that's
And
going to
they're going to try to pressure Baron right now.
Give them
They're
the
going to try to
opportunity to
pressure
Baron here.
They're going for the Baron rush. And this OSU knows about this. OSU saw them walk over wards, and so their Alistar, they're having their Alistar and their Maokai come right there. But Lucian can't do anything because Poppy's preventing him. There is a teleport up on Shogath.
You do have the smite from the Nidalee.
There is no smite on
No
OSU.
smite on OSU.
Gragas is not there.
This is looking kind of dangerous. And the smite goes down. It is secured. No one tries for any suicidal steals.
Cho'Gath teleporting in the back.
teleporting in. Meanwhile, you see Maokai getting caught out. He is definitely going to go down as you see him getting eaten. I don't know how good Enchanted Wood tastes, though.
And Dragon's up in 25 seconds, which would be WSU's third Dragon. So they have the option to take that or push or start pressuring towers. And so right now we see Poppy's going to get Steric's Gauge, and that's even more damage for Poppy, but more importantly, Steric's Gauge is an incredibly good tank item. Because when she gets bursted by that Orianna, she's going to have a whole nother chunk of shield. Catch is going out of Gragas. Gragas could be in trouble right now.
This is not a good position for Gragas, but they also don't want to waste too much time chasing this kill.
Gragas.
Italy alone pursues the Gragas. Meanwhile, the rest of WSU goes for the second tier bot turret. They're going to try to push to that inhibitor.
OSU pushing the mid lane right now.
Meanwhile, you're going to see the back for Dal Dang on the Cho'Gath, trying to stop this Lucian from pushing the middle inhibitor turret.
Lucian stopped. They saw the back come out from Cho'Gath, and so Lucian's going to go farm up WSU's jungle and try to get as much gold as he possibly can that game.
Meanwhile, you see another dragon, his third dragon now for WSU. And 2 Baron buffs so far, and the tower, the second tier bot tower for OSU goes down in that push as well. So, WSU definitely on the winning side of this trade.
At WSU, they've got a 6k gold lead right now. They've got Baron, which is going to be gone in probably about 45 seconds to a minute. Now, it's got about a minute and a half left on Baron. And they've got almost all the outer towers done. So now it gets to the risky point where they need to start sieging up at the base. And sieging up at the base is incredibly difficult because Twitch only gets that bonus auto attack range when he's in his ultimate. He's going to have to be very careful about how he's getting damage on towers so Orianna can't put that ball on him.
Yeah, that's definitely not the scenario that they want to push into. They don't want to push into all of OSU under that tower, because therefore OSU is then forcing the fight for WSU to engage into them, and that's not what they want to do with their team comp.
So they're gonna take top tower right now. Top tower is fairly weak compared to the other towers.
Meanwhile, Poke comes out from Italy from around the wall, or across.
Orianna's slowed.
Oh,
Orianna taking a spear,
and the turret finally falls. Ooh, no knock up that time. Spear is dodged.
That was a scary spear. That's not the spear you want to see coming towards your face.
Meanwhile, Orianna does a good amount of damage even against the very girthy Cho'Gath. He is AP Cho'Gath, so not a whole lot of resist there.
He's got that ultimate, though. He's got ultimate and Roa, so he looks tanky. He might not have the resistances to back it up, but when you see that giant Cho'Gath and that massive health bar, you're like, I don't want to try to tango with that business.
Definitely hesitate. There's a mental hesitation there when you see a giant health bar. You're like, yeah, that guy's tanky. I don't really want to focus him, right? Meanwhile, you still see a lot of ward coverage from both teams, actually. You see a ton of aggressive wards for that top lane push to guard the flank for when that second tier top turret fell. You see just a lot of generic defensive wards for OSU.
Alright, now WSU, this is the point where there are no more outer turrets. They have to make that play where they're probably going to do another split push and try to pressure down these turrets. But Maokai, he's almost done with that ZZ Rot portal. Once he gets that ZZ Rot portal, he's going to be able to put that down and create a lot more. It's going to be much more difficult for WSU to start split pushing against that.
Now, do you think a ZZ Rot portal off of WSU would be a good idea?
ZZ Rot Portal is a fantastic item right now. It's a lot of stats, it's health regen, and it's map pressure. It's basically everything you want in an item, honestly, as a top laner besides health. But he doesn't have any of the components, so I could see it possibly as a last item for him. It'd probably be the last item he builds. But he doesn't need to build it. Because Poppy can also, I could see a lot of other options like Randuin's or, another sort of like armor item, maybe a Sunfire. Sunfire's not that good late game, but I honestly don't know what Zifu's Something Horse is gonna build.
Meanwhile, big thing that both teams don't want is for somebody to get caught here. And these
I don't think anyone ever wants someone to get caught. Unless
the death timers are a little too long here.
Is like, all right.
They're they're playing very safe though. You notice that.
Cody, you need to get caught right here. You need to die. Game's too easy.
Yeah.
The ZZ Rot portal is completed, but that is close enough that WSU can just take it down fairly easy once they get to the turret.
I see a lot of
poke
poke going out here. The poke alone from
ZZ Rot
WSU
portal
might win them the siege.
ZZ Rot portal losing some health, but it does regenerate health pretty fast.
You see OSU being a little bit hesitant to go in. They're not trying to force anything. They know they're behind on
Same
gold.
with WSU.
And so is WSU.
Also doesn't want to force anything.
No one wants to force anything. They're just poking right now. And WSU is winning this poke war.
Now that ball is a lot of pressure, so that ball is going to stop them from the ball's gone. But that ball it would stop them from getting almost anywhere close to the tower. It'd force them into a very small bottleneck position. And now I think WSU, what they're going to do is they can just wait out Dragons and Barons. They can use Dragon and Baron as their win condition because right now they have complete control of the map. They have wards all throughout all the jungles, and they have that comp where they could get a pick if they played it right. And OSU is running in blind, and so Barons in 50 seconds, Dragons in a minute. We might see a Baron for Dragon trade, but I think the most likely situation is WSU goes for Baron, and OSU tries to stop them. And then, whoever wins that fight wins the game. But if OSU is a little bit late and they're able to do Baron before they get there, OSU has to back off, and they're going to concede both a Baron and a Dragon to WSU, which starts that 5th Dragon threat.
For sure. I mean, OSU's not running in completely blind. They do have some wards out there, but they don't want to. What they don't want to do is extend past their base, because if that fight erupts for WSU outside of their base, chances are WSU's going to win it.
Twitch is huge right now. Twitch has Infinity Edge, he's got Last Whisper, he's got Hurricane, he's got all of these items, got support. He's a great tank shredder right now, and he's just going to do so much damage. And OSU just don't have the tools to get to Twitch right now.
Meanwhile, you see that both Baron and Dragon have spawned now.
Nidalee might be caught out right here. No, Nidalee is gonna coop her pants away.
Neon Cat is just fine.
I would say cats have 9 lives.
Well, I mean,
This cat has 9 kills.
took 9 lives.
Alright, we see some damage going on now, guy. But
Dragon doing some damage to Nidalee here.
The
Meanwhile, Cho'Gath speeding in.
Great
That's a great knockup. You're gonna see everyone die. Orianna dies as well. You're gonna see WSU going to win the game most likely off of this. Compound getting dangerously low. Oh no, the Dragon! Meanwhile, WSU is having troubles closing out this fight just a little bit, picking off Gragas. Finally, Lucian's still alive, but that is 4 members of WSU up and able to push these towers. And that's a long death timer there. You see 50 seconds still on Gragas, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 32 seconds on Orianna.
Now, that fight, Cho'Gath was knocked into Orianna. Cho'Gath was Gragas ulted into the Orianna, and I don't think there's anything scarier than seeing a 6-stack Cho'Gath run at you. Just blast right at you. And we're going to see one, maybe 2, probably just 1 inhibitor coming up for WSU, and they've got Dragon number 4. So that is a huge advantage for WSU, and that was not the fight that OSU was trying to take.
If that had gone any worse for OSU, it could have been game, but the last few kills there escaping WSU.
Now this is incredibly risky by WSU. If they don't, I don't think that they have the damage to do this Baron in time. If Lucian and Alistar are able to get the damage off on Twitch, Maokai's teleported in.
Everyone from WSU is still healthy. Maokai gets a little caught out here. OSU is not in the position to fight this. Orianna is not there. Everyone is there for WSU. Maokai is looking closer and closer. Dying finally. Orianna gets zoned out. Not able to turn into that flank because you see Cho'Gath and you see the.
That's another kill. That's Baron for WSU.
That is a definite Baron.
OSU just did not rotate fast enough right there. Like they knew that they were walking away. They had a ward on Baron, and Orianna goes to clear topside.
Oh yeah, that was a bad.
They just trickle in at the worst possible time. And now WSU is sitting 10,000 gold ahead. they've got another Baron. That's the second Baron that they have this game.
Uh-oh, Twitch.
But
Twitch
goes
claims
down!
Oriana. That's carry for carry. But Baron goes down for WSU.
Honestly, that's better for OSU right now, to a certain degree, because they don't have Twitch. Twitch is incredibly good at taking towers. If Twitch survived that, they might have just been able to win right there.
You do see a lot of pressure on that bot lane turret. You can see was that a teleport here? Teleport coming in from Poppy then. Meanwhile, Alistar trying to delay the death of this tower, knocks Cho'Gath into the team.
Ooh.
Oh no! Cho'Gath is looking dangerously low. He is able to walk
He's
out.
fine.
He's fine. He's fine. Meanwhile, you see Poppy in there. Finally, that
Poppy!
Sturridge pops. She's still alive. Not
Poppy!
anymore. Meanwhile, you're gonna see Poppy fall alongside the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath did end up dying. In Italy, trying to get Cho'Gath did end up dying there. You see this death timer.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Okay, so Bobby, pull up the replays. We don't have replays.
Bobby,
All right.
Bobby. Oh my gosh, I'm losing steam here.
Don't worry about it, man. We got one more game after this. One more game. Going strong. All right, so I mean, they got the tower. They opened up the base right there, and OSU was able to play that back pretty well. They were able to return 2 kills for one, I think. I might be wrong, but no one. I don't think actually anyone died on OSU right there, and so OSU is able to stall this game out a little bit more. And right now their base is open, so they're in a similar position that WSU was in this last game, and if they can't, find a decisive team fight and push an advantage, they're probably going to have to, they're going to concede a game.
I mean, it is a best 2 out of 3. So, assuming WSU wins this game, we'll see a third one, and that will decide the victor overall.
And so right now, for all of our viewers, they're probably not too versed in what Cascadia Cup is. So Cascadia Cup is the entire Pacific Northwest. There is 6 teams participating. There is WSU, OSU, another Oregon State, I think Oregon State. No, the OSU is Oregon State. There's UW, Simon Fraser, and UBC, and then the other Oregon school. So we have 6 schools right now, and the top 4 out of these 6 schools are going to UW over the summer in May to play in a LAN. And each team is going to play 2 best-of-3s, I think, against the other schools over this next month, this next month or so. And then the people at the top 4, they go to UW to play in the LAN, and the people in the bottom 2 can cheer on people in the top 4. This is the first year for Cascadia Cup, so
The first anniversary?
they're going to be expanding in teams as the tournament goes on. We're hoping to get 10 teams next year, but so far this is the first round of the best of 3. So it's WSU against OSU this week. Next week it is WSU, I think, against UBC. So fingers crossed. And let's get back into the
Biased caster here.
Hey, fingers crossed. UBC is the best school for collegiate esports since last year.
Good
So I'm
change.
just saying that, like, fingers crossed we do well.
Meanwhile, you see almost everyone is about full build. You see a few items not completed on some characters, some
Oh,
champions.
Alistar's not caught it right now. So right now, they're going to dance around until the next Baron comes up.
This will be the
Unless-
5th dragon for
This is
WSU.
the 5th dragon. This is
Meanwhile,
basically Baron.
Right.
See the disengage.
Lucian is knocked out. Oriana is here for this fight. Braum and
Alistar is
the
completely zoned.
Braum far in the back lane, exhausting the Oriana.
Oh,
my
flash
god, got gnomed! Braum
goes
is
down.
now dead as well. Meanwhile, OSU is falling one by one. You're going to see Oriana finally falling to this Poppy. Sonya's delaying the inevitable. You're going to see Nidalee claiming that kill. Alistar is the only one left alive. Twitch ends up finding him, and that is going to be a complete ace, assuming this
We're doing
Alistar
fifth dragon.
dies, but the ultimate is now
Can't wait until
fifth
the
dragon. Never mind, not an ace. Alistar is still alive to defend against all members except for Braum. As the game, never mind. Now it's an ace. All right, I've been corrected. And the 5th dragon goes in. This could be game right here very easily. Death timer's going at the minimum 20 seconds. You see Poppy.
Now, the entire game, I was saying, I want to see the flash nom. I want to see the flash nom. He does it. Possibly the last fight of the game, we see the flash. Oh, it's not going to be the last fight.
It does not look like it's going to be game.
They're going to try to take 3 inhibitors and a tower. Or 2 inhibitors and the tower.
Now, Baron is up in a minute 30.
That is true.
So, Baron buffed super minions coming in from 2 different lanes, possibly 3 different lanes. Twitch goes in for the assassination. Not going to be good enough. Heal is popped by the Lucian. Make sure that burn does not kill him.
Forced to burn the heal.
Meanwhile, you got the ZZ Rod portal in the middle, trying to stall out push on the open inhibitor. Meanwhile, everyone is up for OSU. Everyone up for both teams. Give me a sec. I need to blow my nose.
That's all good. 5th dragon is... I see these burns on Lucian. I don't know if that's a graphical error, because I know they don't have 5th dragon. But... I'm seeing these weird effects. Maybe it's a spectator bug. I know there's a lot of those out there.
Wait, what were you saying?
It looked like Orianna and Lucian had 5th dragon to me.
It might have just been the burn.
Might have just been the burn. Feeling the burn.
Meanwhile, 15 seconds until Baron is up, and that's not gonna spell out anything kind for OSU. Meanwhile,
I'm getting feedback from the Chronic Penguins. He's saying it's red potion, but doesn't explain why Orianna had it. Thank you very much, Kyler. Your support is always appreciated. Oh, that ball is dangerously close.
Is dangerous.
To the Super Italy.
But Orianna does not want to use the ball and the shockwave on Italy alone. 5th dragon is still there. Meanwhile, Braum and Poppy.
5th dragon is almost gone. 5th dragon is almost gone. So WSU right now, they need to try to take an objective with it.
They should probably go for Baron at this point, or I feel they will go for Baron fairly soon. They just want to get this last inhibitor since it's completely open and the super minions are pushing towards this nexus.
This is looking like it's going to be the last fight of the game.
And finally you're going to see knockups everywhere. You're going to see OSU falling one by one. Maokai and Alistar are dead. Zonya's delaying the inevitable once again. Orianna falls. The shockwave doesn't even finish, and that's going to be the game. WSU going to take it to a 3rd one.
That was great. That was great. So one thing though is, can you say Maokai for me?
Maokai?
So can you say mayonnaise for me?
Mayonnaise.
So can you say Maokai for me?
Mayonnaise. It's Mayo, man. That's what you call him. Let's have a vote. All the viewers should vote. Alright, viewers. What is it? Is it Maokai or Maokai? Oh yeah, that's helpful. Thanks, Phantom.
Yeah, it's pronounced Maokai.
It's Maokai.
Miyoski. Oh, so Cody, I'm thinking after this game we're going to do an interview with 2 members of the winning team.
Aight. Oh, Ted said he timed out, didn't get banned.
Oh.
There we go. Alright, I need to go to the bathroom real fast. Perfect time is now.
Damn, Calfan with the hate. Alright, well now that Cody's gone, we're going to take over the stream. Let my people meme. Alright, so far 1-1. These teams seem pretty tied up. OSU, fantastic mid laner. WSU, really good team play that last fight. They were able to move as a unit. With all of their fights, they were acting as one solid unit. They were all fighting the same targets, focusing the same targets, and they were keeping Twitch alive. Intolerable Fate really has come up big on both of those games as a really big damage-dealing carry. I know he's the AD carry, but he's really seeming to do a lot of the damage in all of these fights. And it's seeming that WSU is building a lot of teams around them. So this game, let's see if, OSU, if they take exhaust this game possibly to shut them down a bit, or if they try to put even more pressure in the bot lane to keep him down.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see very similar bans. We're probably going to see some more jungle-focused bans, ending up with probably that Corki ban. So they probably don't want to give that away. And it seems right now that we're in a small delay because... So right now, half the teams, they're taking a bathroom break, they're eating some food, and so we're going to reconvene in about 1 to 2 minutes.
Huh. It looks like Mayokai was the popular vote. Mm-hmm. There's Meowkai and Mayogai. Or Mayo Naokai? Naokai. Let's go, Beeves! WSU. Cody, you're wrong. Oh, damn. I think that fake dot... Wait, fake? Is that Tony? Alright, well, I could throw on some music while we wait. Let's close this, go to the library. Get this,
Alright, Cody, I'm back.
Alright. Playing some music as we wait for everybody. Do you taste salt?
Alrighty, Cody, what do you think we're going to see this game?
I honestly don't know. If they
Cody,
leave the Nidalee pickup again, I feel like that's a big...
What I think we're going to see this game, probably another Predict the Ben comp, probably another OSU mid-centric comp. And probably an Alistar bot lane for OSU.
Alistar is always a good pickup. I'm predicting if they leave the Nidalee open, you might see...
I think you'll see a lot of bad jungling on whose side? Both. Well, only time will tell. There will be blood. I sure hope so. It's a lot more fun to cast really bloody games than it is to cast games where, they lane swap and then they don't get a kill until 25 minutes. All right, now all the players are in the lobby. We're just waiting for Donald Dang to move over to the team side.
Ready
The
when
teams
you
have
are.
given the ready. Hashtag rivalry. I respect OSU a lot. I think they're good players. It's a good team. They've given us 2 very good matches so far.
They
And I hope they give us
definitely
the third
have
one.
been. I feel
Right now,
like-
Cody is MIA, but
Oh,
I don't think they're
I think the stream can hear me. You can't. I muted one of my mics.
you muted one of your mics. Well, not the you muted the important one.
I did.
All right, we're in game.
No, we're in Champion Select.
We're in Champion Select in game. We got stuff to talk about.
All right, we've got Azir and Echo bands once again. Right off the
Azir and
bat.
Echo. All right, I'm gonna make these bold predictions. Next band's gonna be Zed and
Huh?
Zed and
Zed banned last game? I don't think Zed was banned last game.
Zed was banned last game. It was
Was
the
it?
second ban last game. Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna.
It's gonna be Echo. It's gonna be.
Oh, there's an Italy ban. They didn't leave it up. They don't want to steal with that again. Graves is once again banned. A very good pick. Very good ban. And thinking about the last one, talking through who they want. Right now is when you. Oh, there's the Zed ban. Alright.
There's the Zed ban. I don't think the mid lane likes playing against the Zed or Azir.
And Corky
So,
ban. There's the
no bans.
Meanwhile, you got Nautilus, probably again in the top lane. Darius.
Once again,
this
I
time.
can't see the. Once again, I can't see the champion. So you're gonna have to walk me through everything.
All right. Well, you see Gnar being hovered against possible Nautilus, and now you see a Malphite.
Malphite picked.
Oh nope, not yet. Only being hovered at the moment.
All right, with that Nidalee off the table, I'm interested to see which jungle. I'm gonna call him Chutney.
Chutney.
What jungler Chutney is gonna go on?
Lee Sin.
Lee Sin?
Lee Sin.
Probably.
Uh,
Probably.
Oh,
Lee Sin.
never mind. He's like, I don't know. He actually opts to trade for the Braum. Go in for the Braum to trade later.
jungle.
Or it's the Braum jungle. I mean, he could throw all of us off here.
I've seen it. Never seen it win, but I've seen it.
That's actually something I have not seen in my thousands of games. This Braum
Alright,
jungle.
well,
I've
you
seen a lot
wanna
of
play a game after this?
no, I'm good, thanks.
I'll show you, Braum Jungle.
Meanwhile, Teemo
That
top. Well, I don't know if it's top, but Teemo getting hovered.
Teemo getting covered. I want to see the Teemo.
Urgot,
Teemo is,
Shaco, all these really nasty, annoying picks in the common.
Teemo, Shaco, Nunu. What else?
And
What else?
now we've got the Urgot.
Or gotta be kidding me. They ain't picking that.
I don't know, man. It's ticking down. 10 seconds.
If they pick Urgot, I don't know, I'll buy you a hot dog.
Oh, no. Nope. It's going for the Elise. Oh. Might pick the Lee Sin this time. It worked last time, but the Corky is not there. So Lee Sin could push the game to victory. Meanwhile, you've got Vorthros on Lucian once again, picked away from the WSU side. Or maybe Vorthros just likes Lucian. It was picked away from Vorthros in the first game.
So we're seeing Vorthros with that Lucian, with that lane dominant. And last game we saw him pull off a lot of lane dominance. We saw him get a lot of damage out and really show up. And so that was really good. And they're probably gonna pick another Alistar. We're probably gonna see Alistar in the bottom lane again.
That's a Hecarim pick on top of a Sivir.
That is a Hecarim jungle.
That's a speedy team there.
I'm excited to see this. So we're seeing the Ignite Smite.
Ignite Smite.
They're going to speed that Hecarim up. They're looking for the "we're going to run and destroy you" call.
They want to run over people.
So right now, Elise basically does nothing against this call. Unless Elise gets ahead early, Elise is going to be virtually useless once team fight phase breaks out.
And Lucian is a short range carry, so that
is not looking good right now
Not
for
looking
OSU.
good.
Right now in this draft, this is very much WSU's draft. If this Hecarim gets ahead, if Elise creates enough early game pressure that Hecarim does not get ahead, Hecarim stays behind and can never really reach his
Tom Kench.
assassin pony potential.
Oh, just getting last minute Alistar once again, and
Told you. He's gonna take Ignite too, probably.
you're gonna see Ari. That's an interesting pick against that.
Ari
team.
can jump out of the initial assassination burst. She's gonna be pretty good at getting a lot of damage out in these fights.
This time you have a lot of engage off of WSU's team, and more so on the disengage, or less engage from OSU. I feel like the engage war is won by WSU this time.
Definitely. If this game goes like the other two games go, where it gets to a point with the team with the better, with the stronger fighting comp wins, WSU is going to pull off this game in a close victory.
But OSU has shown up these past two games. They have definitely put up a great fight.
I'm excited to
Can't
see
count
Fat
them
J.
out.
I think Fat J, if OSU wins this game, it's going to be on the back of Fat J. Fat J has given us two phenomenal performances so far, and Ari is a really big playmaking champion, and I want to see if Fat J pulls up that Fat W.
You know, Ari is also sort of a pick and burst champion, not something that has a whole lot of sustained damage, not very good against really beefy teams, and WSU has a good amount of beef on there. You've also got Calfan there with the wall off of Braum to block the orb from going through the entirety of the team, even in tight corridors.
That is true. Braum is really good at gating off the damage, especially against this team, because they have a lot of skill shots on this team, and not a lot of their dive just won't extend past that Braum wall. And I honestly think that OSU has lost the pick. I don't think they've won this draft. I think that they have a pick comp, and if their pick comp is executed properly, they win. And the biggest thing they're going to have to focus on this game is this Hecarim, because Hecarim's an off-meta jungle pick, and he needs a lot of items to get going. And if OSU can shut Hecarim down, they can win the game. But if they don't shut Hecarim down, and they kind of go even early game, it's just going to get more and more in WSU's favor.
Now, how do you feel the bot lane matchup goes?
The bot lane matchup, I think it's going to be about even. I think Sivir and Braum, it's a solid lane. I think it might lose to the Alistar. Alistar took exhaust. Okay, so I think it might lose to the Alistar Lucian. Lucian's really strong early game, but Sivir's really good at countering Lucian because his Q is so telegraphed. I think it's going to go over to WSU.
Alright, what about the mid lane? You do have the Lissandra. It's lots of lockdown for Ari. But Ari does also do a good amount of damage. So, depends on who gets what off first, right? You see a teleport off of Donald Dang on the Lissandra, and the Ignite from Fat J on Ari. So, no Ignite on the mid lane in WCU's team. However, you do get the Ignite from, instead of a Flash or a Ghost from the Hecarim. So Ignites are present on both teams. So is Exhaust. However, you do get a little bit more map pressure from the double teleports off of WSU. A real shame.
Did you like that? Hashtag rivalry.
Our scientists are still working on it. That would truly be the information era.
If only we could quadcast this with OSU. Probably the entire game they'd just be saying hashtag rivalry, and then they just like repeat what one of us said.
All right, while the loading screen goes through, let's
see if this
let's do the prediction. Who thinks who will win?
This is 1-1 so far. I think one of these games is going to play better than the other team and take away the victory.
I think a team is going to win. I
Definitely.
think some
Next.
people are going to win the video game.
Alright, pretty standard masteries coming out from just about everyone. Pretty standard. We're seeing some mastery 5s. We're seeing a lot more mastery icons on the WSU team. I don't know what that says. I think that just means they play more.
They might have played those specific champions more.
You see Warrior's Bloodlust on Sivir, which is very good for Sivir, because Sivir is one of those AD carries that gets really into the mix a lot. And unlike Lucian, she doesn't stack that Warrior's Bloodlust, or that Fervor of Battle as fast.
Does Sivir get the lifesteal off of a Ricochet or no?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. Let's ask the chat.
Let's ask the chat. Research it, quick.
Of course, young one. We're getting. Of course. We're getting. All right, we got 19 viewers. Congratulations. This is the peak.
Woo!
Only up from here.
I mean, one time I got like 700, but that was when I got like a weird Reddit troll roll come through.
The troll roll. Alrighty, so we're seeing the level 1 bush strat from WSU.
Oh yeah, man. Meanwhile, OSU spreads out, watching all of the entrances.
I don't think we're gonna see any action.
Any funny business here. Brahms level 1 is
funny
good,
business,
but
please.
does not look like a level 1 fight is going to break out. Oh, if you wanted to do the play-by-play, you can. You want to switch off?
I actually like what we got going on right now.
Alright.
We got some good chemistry. Let's keep it. Right now we see Alistar stepping up. Alistar steps back. He's like, this is too real for me. Meanwhile, they're spotted out in the mid lane. People see Lissandra. People see Lissandra.
Oh, it's just a ward. Just a ward. Gotta see
Alright, Lissandra's been spotted out. Advantage OSU. They're going for the invade. Oh no, they're sitting in the bush. They see him! They see him!
Tried to steal it. It did not end up taking that Krug there. It was a cheesy maneuver. Ended up not doing anything.
As WSU would say, go, 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 go.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, you see two tanks fighting it out. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you see skill shots being thrown. You know, standard game.
Now, Hecarim started blue buff. He did not start bronze. So
I am not a jungler of the Hecarim.
Neither am I. So I'm just going to assume he knows what he's doing. All right, everyone who wants to jungle Hecarim, you start blue buff. Seeing the
You
fast
see
push
that
out,
Sivir-
level 2 first game by bot lane.
Sivir and the Braum have the level 2, not able to do a whole lot with it. You see the Ricochet does not trigger the Braum passive, as you mentioned in game 1. Meanwhile, you get trades going back and forth in mid lane.
So we're just gonna see standard lane, standard farmhouse. They're gonna try to get some harass down, but we're probably not gonna see anything. And WSU really just wants to drag this game to where their Hecarim becomes that big daddy that we all know he can be. Hecarim, he picked the Elderwood Hecarim skin because he knows he's gonna be in the jungle and he needs to be one with the trees.
Wasn't top Hecarim a thing for a while?
Top Heck for a while?
I think it is.
Like
Still is, right?
I mean, not so much anymore because you used to go boots and then home guards and then teleport bot lane and kill someone, but they made some nerfs to Hecarim, so top lane Hecarim's no longer as good as it once was. It's been switched out with Rammus top.
Alright.
I prefer Rammus.
I remember when I used to laugh at seeing a Rammus top, and now all of a sudden it's a thing.
It's becoming less of a thing, but it was a thing when 80 carries were big. I still like it, but I'm in the past.
And you're seeing a little bit more diversity in AD versus AP in comps lately.
Well, right now we're seeing fight in the top lane.
A gank on the top lane. You're gonna see
Gankaroo.
not even a whole lot of damage coming out there. At least kind of just walks through. You see mana being the largest problem with Malphite top.
Yeah, mana's a really big problem. Once you don't have mana, no more spells.
Yeah. And there's the mini Malphite from the Alistar.
Alistar says, "You know what you're doing here? You know what you're doing in my house?"
And the Q actually misses.
Horns. Give him the horns.
Did you know you can dodge Lucian's Q if you reverse direction? It predicts your direction, so if you turn around at the right time, you can dodge Lucian's Q.
I don't know what you're talking about, but there is no Lee Sin in this game.
What? I said Lucian.
I'm pretty sure you said Lee Sin.
A Lucian.
I would never lie to you.
Meanwhile, you're gonna
right.
see junglers having a
Down,
tango.
down.
Not really doing a whole lot. They just kind of walk away from each other. Meanwhile, pings going out from WSU.
It's that awkward, I'm getting invaded, please help me dance when your laners don't come. You're like, guys, and they're all like, we're pushed, man, sorry.
Not a whole lot of response there.
It is the most frustrating thing to have happen to you. Number one way to
Meanwhile,
get
Charm goes out, misses, and Donaldang getting a Q.
He's blowing kisses, but they just ain't landing.
Yeah, man, Sandra will not be swinging that way this time.
Hey, you don't know that.
I said this time. It might be later.
Another headbutt. Alistair's really giving Sivir the horns these games. He sees Sivir, he has his horns, he just slams them right into her.
And so far, it seems like the trades are going in Sivir and Brahm's favor.
Lucian is pretty low. That is a good amount of damage.
Did you see, we forgot last game, we were going to say something about mana. Like, you asked what is mana. We never ended up finishing that conversation.
I'm pretty sure we know what mana is at this point. It's that
It's the thing.
It's the thing that neither carries have.
Yeah,
right
exactly. I was just about to say that, and both AD carries are a little low on it right now. Meanwhile,
now.
at least
But
coming
Lucian
in.
has the level advantage. Somehow.
Ward is there. Just walks through, wards the Tribush.
At least it's looking for a gank. You know, right now, blue team does have the 300 gold lead, which is, I know, huge.
Pure CS right now. Oh, and dodge that. Uh-oh.
This is the part.
Lissandra's out of mana, flashes away, still goes down. First blood is on Lissandra, and Elise claims it.
Beautiful play by Fat J. He also, when you ult and you get Hecarim knockback, Hecarim continues to travel in a certain direction, but you will travel in whatever direction you end up in. And so she was able to, I think, ult and flash far enough away that the Hecarim ult made it just impossible for her to get ignited by him. So very well played by Fat J. That almost went really poorly for OSU.
It almost did, but did see that Lissandra was able to be finished off.
That noodles are
Meanwhile,
getting low.
yeah, the wet noodles again. The hook from
What a shame.
reincarnation does not hit. A little early. Is not thrown when the ult hits. Meanwhile, a teleport coming in from Lissandra. His flash is used.
He does not have our ultimate though, so that is going to be a wasted TP.
It did get a flash, so not completely wasted.
So yeah, not completely wasted. My bad. It was not a completely wasted teleport. It was actually worth because she did get the flash. Now she's going to get back. She's going to miss some CS mid lane, but that just comes with the territory. But hopefully, bot lane can use this pressure to get even further ahead. Because right now, Alistar doesn't have any
Alistar has
mana.
no mana. You get the
We're
wall,
talking
and
about
exhaust
panic
goes
here.
down on Braum. Meanwhile, Sivir wants to. Misses an auto attack. It's not ever good. Just these lower level 5 and 6 trades. Every auto attack counts.
Now, right now, you're going to see Sivir healing up more because she has that Warrior's Bloodlust. She's going to...
There's
they're
the
going in.
ultimate. They're going in. Both.
Can we get
Has
the...
level
We
6.
see the Q, but
Those-
we're gonna see the
there's-
culling.
There's a culling going down. Braum blocks a majority of the damage.
Lucian
Meanwhile,
might be able to
Lucian
get
going
going.
in, out of mana, the
The
ult
Braum
comes
comes
out!
down.
Oh, and both flashes
Oh,
do!
is he gonna
Sivir
get
might
the
be able to get this kill!
He's gonna
Heal
get
is
the
popped! Out of mana, no one dies on the bot lane! That was crazy close.
Oh my... That was close. Now there's no summoners in bot lane whatsoever. Except Flash on Sivir. And Exhaust on Braum. So I'm completely wrong. Remember, kids, look before you speak.
And leap. Generally. Oh, and you're gonna see Donald go in. Very clean kill on the mid lane. Ari almost had no chance to fight back there.
Yeah, you know what they say. Fat J was all burnt up.
What? Do they say?
You got smoked there.
Oh, alright. Okay. I got it now. I got it.
Gave her the ult. Gave her the
Well,
ult.
Braum comes back with full health and mana. Both. Oh, Elise coming down. That's no good. They don't see Elise. You're going to see directed camera. Eventually go to bot lane. There we go.
What's top lane? I want to see what's top lane.
Oh no! Exhaust finally going down there. Still out of turret range. Stunned in the turret range. And here's Hecarim coming in. You also see Sandra from the back. This is looking like a triple kill. Easy 2 kills going on Hecarim. 3 kills going on Hecarim. And nobody goes down on WSU. It was looking like Braum dangerously low, but stays alive. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you're going to see Malphite getting dangerously low. The ult's used on both. Flash has to be used by both players. You're going to see... you're going to see Malphite going down to this Nautilus. Meanwhile, Char misses just barely. In the mid lane. Nothing happens there. Simple wave clear from this Lissandra. And turrets. Dirt shots being taken. And a dragon as well. You're going to see that triple kill in the bot lane opens up that dragon opportunity. You're going to see the first one. A very essential damage boost going. Uh-oh. Ult is used by Ari. Hits the charm. This is possibly going to be death. You're going to see ult. Oh my gosh. If Hecarim had just gone out, he might have lived. But he went back in thinking he was for sure done.
I think he was cooked either way.
The ult.
He had the ignite on him. He had the ignite on him.
Oh, the ignite was on? Alright.
That was close.
That was a close one.
But
Ari picking up that kill. That was a shutdown, I believe.
that was a shutdown. So we see the gold actually in OSU's favor right now, which is interesting. But that Hecarim got all those kills. He's got his runic echoes already, and so he's got that much more burst. And as this game goes on, WSU becomes more and more favored.
Is Runic Echoes a thing to go on Hecarim?
Once again, I don't play jungle Hecarim. I was watching... What's his name? He used to be a really big Hecarim player back when the other one was... The other jungle, the Sheen item was big. And he said Runic Echoes was like the only good one right now because all the other ones don't do enough. Mostly for mana regen in the jungle. We see a fight going on.
Oh, the flash by the Lissandra. You're going to see the ult and tons of knockups going up. Alistar uses the ult to cleanse that CC. Meanwhile, Hecarim going to pick up another kill in the top lane. Well, he himself does not claim it, but he was part of the takedown.
Yeah, that was a great Alistar pulverize. He knocked 3 members up. They were not able to kill that Lucian. They completely negated the CC that the Lissandra ult gave. Meanwhile, Ari in mid lane's able to almost take down the tower. He gets the charm off. He might be going for the solo kill. Does he have ult? He does have ult, and he chooses not to go in. I don't think he knew where Hecarim was, and he didn't want to risk going 1 for 1.
Could have been a good one, as Lissandra's ult was down, used bot lane. Perhaps not communicated. Meanwhile, Braum...
Looking like we're getting some Braum. We're getting
a teleport from OSU. The ultimate is used on the Braum. Meanwhile, another teleport comes down. We also get Malphite. Braum is still alive. Was that a headbutt?
That was a headbutt.
Did he get headbutt out? Meanwhile, Hecarim not in a good spot here. The ult goes down. The charm is blocked by the Malphite. And then you see so many knockups coming in. Bravo! Everything! Ari goes down, Sivir claims the kill. Meanwhile, you're going to see Alistar fall as well. Lucian has to dash out. That is 2 kills for WSU. What looked like a good rotation for OSU, with Ari looking like she was going to claim Hecarim's life. Ended up being 2 kills for WSU. Meanwhile, you see another 2v2 fight. Donald has to get out of here. Hecarim trying to roll in. The repel goes down on the Hecarim. Meanwhile, you see Malphite body blocking for the Hecarim. Gonna allow him to get out. Donald Tang kiting around. Still has mana. Plenty for spells. You're gonna see an auto attack fight. And you're gonna see... Oh, finally the ult goes down. Just waiting for cooldowns as Donald finally claims that kill on the Nautilus.
They had the game in their hand. and instead of performing, they cracked under the pressure, I guess.
It was looking like OSU was keeping up just as well. Actually, was in the gold lead, I believe.
They were in the gold lead, and now they're behind. And if they keep making plays like that, I don't think they're going to ever close. They're not going to close the gap this game.
But it is not over yet. The gold lead is not too terribly high. In fact, OSU has the only turret up right now.
But you do have to look at a mental factor here. When
That
you're
is true.
3-9, you don't think that the gold lead's only 1,000 away. You think the gold lead's much more, especially in a game 3 where the stakes are so high. Now this game is the first game of this Cascadia Cup split, and it really kind of sets the tone for where you are in the standings. Both OSU and WSU are kind of considered to be around that same area. They're fighting for that 4th spot to a degree, because this game it's a must win for both teams. They really need to make sure they're picking up the wins against these opponents, rather than when they face up against Simon Fraser, UBC, and maybe even UW.
For sure. Meanwhile, see Heckram coming in for a gank on top lane. Possibly he decides to back out. Lands a little push to. Actually decides to come back in. And the ult is used to interrupt the charge there. Turret doing tons of damage here. Nautilus actually winning the trade against 2 players. Meanwhile, Ignite goes down. And the Orb of Deception claims is shot in the right direction. Meanwhile, in bot lane, you see Sivir blocking that cocoon with the spell shield very easily. So overall, many fights going down. Heckram coming in once again for a gank on top lane. And a flash is used.
Like another kill.
The Spider-Man is there, interrupted by the Malphite ult, and that is going to be a very clean kill. Well played by WSU in the top lane.
Meanwhile, we see mid lane tower getting at about half HP. A lot of pressure being made by Fat J. He's 40 CS up right now. Still down in kills and assists. But it's kind of like that Corky game. We need to see how they take their mid lane that's ahead and bring a bot lane. Bring a bot lane ahead.
I kept the music on. I didn't even notice. You guys like the music or no?
No.
No? Alright, no music
Okay.
then.
Music on.
Well, Dragon, looking like it's contested. Elise just got out, backed away. Ari was going to back, canceled it. Canceled it. Being sick is wonderful.
And so right now, Heckram is really big. I think the majority of the gold lead sits on Heckram right now. He's got 5 kills. He's got his hunter's potion. Heckram is just going to keep farming, and unless Elise can create pressure, this game
is relatively free Dragon. Elise not around to contest it at all. Well, she is in the area, but does not get close enough to even get vision of the dragon. Not that it's
Teleport
needed.
use top lane. We see that Shamrock going back to the tippity top,
The sham.
ready for another wet noodle fight.
Oh yeah. Throwing rocks and anchors at each other.
Now we see him with the Abyssal Scepter. He's going Abyssal Scepter and Iceborne Gauntlet. That's a pretty greedy Malphite build. That's a Malphite build that's really good early in mid game, but falls off a lot late when you need to be the team's tank.
Well, I do have a... Oh! The channel goes through the flesh, and
Great
the first
flash.
dash is interrupted. The stun is almost
gonna
there.
be-
She decides
he's
to
going
dash
back
in. Oh, and Ari falls. That was a great
Oh,
play by WSU,
Elisa's
but...
there. She
Oh
has
my
the-
gosh,
she
you're going to
has
see...
the-
Oh, the repel goes through, dodges it, and the auto attack for
Meanwhile,
Brahm's death.
bot lane.
Meanwhile, in bot lane,
Go.
you're going to see Tower tickling this Alistar for an easy kill on this Sivir. Doesn't even need to use flash. Doesn't even need to use
Meanwhile, mid lane
ultimate.
seems to be caught out.
Meanwhile,
And
you're gonna see
Cocoon
Elise
Ult goes
dying
down. It looks
very
like Elise
fast.
is gonna
Donald
die.
on a
able to
Lysandra,
return the kill on
very
Donald.
close to death as well. The body block from this Malphite, just enough
He's gonna
to
teleport to safety.
Oh, that's probably a good move. Does not know where Lucian and Alistar are. Meanwhile, pink ward being cleared as Nautilus gets pinged to search for that Lysandra.
He's not there. There's no finding him. That ship has sailed.
Oh my goodness, that was a crazy Ari kill though. As the dashes.
Ari didn't get a kill though.
No. The kill on Ari.
Oh, kill on Ari, yeah.
Because the first dash was interrupted. The channel of Ice Tomb, or Frozen Tomb, actually went through the flash.
But still, they put so much pressure mid lane that they were able to get so much out of that. And Hecarim was able to walk out alive, and so was Lysandra. And that was great for WSU.
It was a 1-1 in the end. Meanwhile, Hecarim doing the damage that he does.
He's gonna win.
He's probably
this
going
fight top
to
lane.
clean this
There's
fight
no
up.
mana
Elise
for a
is
hook.
coming. No mana. Red buff burn, and there's the knockback to secure Nautilus's death for sure. Meanwhile, you see Malphite getting some free time. Push on that turret in the top lane. Only Elise is there to respond. Meanwhile, Hecarim needs to be careful. Gets caught by the charm. Elise able to finish him off. Tried for the ultimate. Did not make it out.
Shut down gold on Elise. That's going to allow Elise to get her Rylai's a lot faster. Elise going for the Rylai's. She hit the cocoon.
It's not going to do nearly enough damage though.
Malphite
Malphite
I'm
able
pretty
to.
sure Malphite could kill
Malphite
her.
able to. Oh no! The teleport in
Nautilus
from
is here.
Nautilus.
So good.
Elise
He's
is a
gonna have
little
to
scared to
ult
come in though. You see her staying in the back line, actually walking away from these cocoons.
cocoon.
Meanwhile, ult and flash used by the Malphite to get out of there, and he should be safe.
Now OSU should be able to take topside, and with Malphite's ult and flash down, they have a lot more pressure on the map now. All right, do we see? Nothing's going down in the mid lane.
Well, you do see
Lysandra's
top
able
tower.
to just on out of there.
Top tower is
And-
going to fall here. Push
Always
turret
continue
lead
to
up
create
to
pressure.
1 for OSU. The gold lead is nearly non-existent, so a very even game so far, despite the kill advantage for WSU. The tower difference probably makes that up. Meanwhile, you get the charm,
though.
and Braum is here
How
from
is
the
doing
back,
that?
and so is Hecarim. Hecarim's going to do that burst, finish off the Ahri.
Great dive by WSU.
Meanwhile,
They
Hecarim
definitely
getting
should
a
not
little
be
bit
able to
bold
get
here.
behind their turret though without any vision.
Hecarim wants to push into this jungle. Probably not a very safe spot, as
It's not a safe spot for him.
is
but
in
I
the
think
area.
it's might be far enough ahead that they're able to do it.
Braum is there.
He is getting caught out right now.
Meanwhile,
However,
Elise
it
is
does
looking-
look like Elise is getting knocked up.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, you see Wet Noodles once again whacking each other. Not doing a whole lot
Mid
of
lane
damage.
goes down for for OSU.
And that brings the turrets to even. The gold lead jumps back up to WSU's favor, but just barely. However, top turret is looking like it's about to fall as well, and a 4-man pressure off of
Are they gonna be able to go-
WSU.
It looks like they're going for Calfan.
Uh-oh,
Calfan's gonna get
Calfan
knocked
gets a
back into
little
the turret.
too far
He's-
up, ends
gonna
up
go
dying.
down.
Lucian claims that kill, but the turret will fall. So gold-wise,
Outer turret. It was an outer turret, so at least that they're offering some sort of gold back into the pockets, and especially into the pockets of the AD carry.
meanwhile, Baron is actually being pinged by blue team.
Baron's being pinged. Is it?
That's
is
a
it the
bold
first
Baron.
Dingo
The
play?
pink ward
It's the
is
first
set up.
Dingo play.
They're
doing
going for a
first Dingo
24-minute
play.
Baron here. No, uh-oh.
It's Baron.
Nobody
And
even has an
nothing's-
idea here. Hecarim is in the area. A few wards over
might
the
have
wall.
figured
They're
that-
thinking
they
about. They
figured
think
that-
they might. Uh-oh.
They
They
figured-
know it's there.
Hecarim does have.
Hecarim
He does not have
does
smite.
have
There is no smite on
away.
Hecarim.
Uh-oh.
There is no smite for Hecarim to smite this away.
And
Baron
it's
to OSU.
claimed by
Can't make it
OSU.
happen.
Hecarim looks like he's about to go down. Heal, and the headbutt almost knocks him into Ari. Lysandra able to clean that kill up, though. Meanwhile, you're going to see a flash, and Lysandra ulting herself, postponing death just for a moment. Man, it's a moment long enough as she claims 2 kills as Malphite comes in with the ultimate.
I don't think he's getting out here. I think that
meanwhile,
this Baron,
OSU is looking like that Baron buff is almost completely wasted. 4 members of OSU going down there with Lucian being the only one still alive with it.
they spent too much time trying to kill that Lysandra. They needed to take their Baron buff and just run out with it because they weren't able to answer enough damage on Lysandra when they were all there. It allowed WSU to rotate their entire team towards that fight. And since they had blown everything trying to kill Hecarim and Baron, they had nothing. And WSU was able to easily pull ahead and just kill 4 of them and take a tower and take a dragon. And so WSU is going to increase that gold lead by about 2,000 or 3,000.
You're going to see Dragon easily being claimed by this Hecarim. Smites it away. That is going to be 3 dragons for WSU this time, and it's actually 4 turrets on WSU's
that dragon,
scoreboard as well.
Since the 3rd dragon and Hecarim gets scaling AD off of movement speed, that's
man.
really big for Hecarim. It's like giving him, I think it's another, I don't know, something probably more like another like 5% more AD or something. I'm not sure.
I thought you played thousands of games to do these calculations.
1,000 again. I don't know. I don't do numbers, man. Numbers change. I told you, I'll do any ability name and what it does, but I don't do numbers.
All right, what's Malphite's abilities names? All of them.
All of them? He's got Seismic Shard.
All right.
He's got Ground Slam.
All right.
He's got Unstoppable Force.
All right.
And
Not googling anything, are you?
Brutal Strikes. Brutal Strikes.
All right.
Am I right?
Yeah. You're right.
You're welcome.
All right. Looks like blue
Can
team.
you ask me what his passive is?
Huh? What is that?
Granite Shield.
Yeah. Shield something.
Usually people always try to stump me on passives, so I had to learn all the passives. What's both names of Akali's passive? And I'm like, oh my god.
Twin disciplines. I studied that one.
I studied the way of a ninja.
Meanwhile, the ward coverage. You actually see quite a few pink wards still up for both teams in the river area. One of them on OSU. OSU's Southern Jungle falls to WSU's pressure. Pushing in here. It's rotating to the bot side. It's one of the only outer turrets left for OSU at the moment. Meanwhile,
they're doing the Fnatic Bush.
they're doing the push.
There's no blue wards up.
Meanwhile, a hook goes out on Malphite, and you see almost 0 health loss. Oh, the flash ult, and you see Hecarim pushing probably the wrong target in, but Alistar still dies.
It's even ult.
Meanwhile, Ari deciding to split push that, shoves up mid. And the teleport from Lysandra is going to stop that pressure. Meanwhile, Malphite ults into the background, gets Lucian. Lucian is still alive, though, using that culling, doing tons of damage. Meanwhile, Nautilus falls well under the turret, and soon to be Elise. But never mind, the heal gives just enough speed boost to warrant WSU to back off.
This is WSU's game now. WSU is so ahead. This is a decisive victory.
Meanwhile,
If WSU pulls. They are 11 kills ahead.
If they
6,000 gold ahead at 29 minutes.
If they don't
right
throw,
now is just a matter of time.
If WSU does not throw, it is looking to be a very solid game for them.
Well, it's League of Throws. Anything can happen.
Exactly. Don't call it till it's over.
Don't cull it.
Don't call it.
They do evolution.
They do. The culling. Did I say cull too? Did someone buy cull at some point?
Yes, Lucian bought. I think Lucian bought. Someone probably bought a call. Here, I'll give you the check. I'll give you the discount double check.
Alright.
Sivir bought a call.
Sivir bought a
Ben
call.
bought-
Alright. Not cashed
So
in.
Intolerable Fate picked up a call earlier. It's already cashed out, and they've sold it. All right, so another Baron dance is going to start up in about 1:40.
Okay. You see Dragon is also spawning in around that time.
This will be WSU's 4th Dragon, which really pressures that 5th one.
And right now, that pick is something that WSU cannot afford. Hecarim is still alive for now. He ults over the wall, but the flash and the ult off of Ari claim his life for sure.
Alright, I'm behind. I'm
is-
behind a bit.
Uh-oh.
I need to jump up to live.
You might need...
I gave you that discount double check, and I jumped back in time to see if Silver bought a call,
Alright.
and then I did not click to live.
Well, that was a pick that OSU needed for sure to get Hecarim out of the picture for the moment. But can they do anything else with it? For the 4
Looks like they're
remaining
going top
members
line.
of WSU are all very strong. It's not like they are not fed either. So a turret plus 4 members of WSU, not an easy dive. It looks like OSU looking to back off, especially with Hecarim back up. You know he's back now. You're going to see Elise might be getting caught out here. You're going to see Sivir ult comes in. Everyone is around. Malphite ults. There's a ton of knockups going everywhere. Hecarim is in. Goes after the Ari. Then you see the first 2 deaths going down. OSU's Lucian and Elise are down. And you're going to see double kill for the Lissandra. 4 members down for OSU. Ari is the only one left alive. And Baron is going to be claimed by WSU. At this point, I've gotten just so generic because I can't talk.
As well, but the show must go on. We can't say that stuff on the stream.
Ults everywhere. Knockups. Stuff's happening.
The Baron falls down to WSU.
The Baron is slain. The giant purple worm.
Has given its giant purple buff to WSU. And Dragon 4 comes down for WSU. Now they can completely have all disregard for tower damage. And it's just a matter of time until WSU closes out this game, it seems. An 8,000 gold lead, 14 kills ahead.
It does seem
This
that
Hecarim
way,
pick,
but remember...
This team fight comp has done wonders for WSU.
Wow, Ari, one we were pinning our hopes on for OSU, not fed enough. Actually, more deaths than kills this game.
It's a shame it happens.
It does happen to the best of us.
The thing that OSU has to look at right now is there any way that we can find one member of WSU and kill them so we can delay this Baron buff from taking a tower?
And right now,
And we
Lissandra is the
continue-
one splitting off.
And we can continue this game until we can get maybe more items and maybe more picks. Because right now they're playing a pick comp. They've got Elise, they've got Ari, and they've got Nautilus. They need to be going for picks. And when you're this far behind, it's incredibly hard to go for picks. Because the team fighting team, they could just
Oh,
force whatever they want.
Malphite
And
goes
go-
in! And you're going to see the Wamba combo. A nice knockup by Alistar into the tower. Donald finally ults himself. He was taking a ton of damage, but now he's back up to half health. And Malphite easily taking that tower for ages. 3 members of OSU falling under that. A very
I think
easy
that
dive.
was
Meanwhile,
40-second death timers.
Meanwhile,
going
Ari
for
having to
something
flash
like
over that wall. This looks more and more like WSU's game as you're going to find the first inhibitor turret going down. And the inhibitor will soon follow.
Alright, and now it's just a matter of time for WSU. We've got probably about 3 minutes left. And
3 minutes left.
they're going to look to take
calling it
another
3
tower,
minutes?
take the inhibitors, and win the game. It's very straightforward from here.
Did you get confirmation from People already
No,
on
I
the
did
game?
not have confirmation.
Alright. So you're just calling it? You're predicting 3 minutes?
I'm predicting 3 minutes. This game will be over in 3 minutes. Unless WSU wants to really play it safe and wait till the next dragon.
The 5th dragon. Oh,
They are so far ahead at this point.
They might as well. I mean, I like getting 5th dragon.
Fantasy points. Anyone trying to play that collegiate fantasy for Cascadia Cup, I guess.
Yep.
Ari's just picked up her Morellonomicon, and Elise has finished off that Dead Man's Plate, doing them do a little bit more damage. And that self-healing, putting that self-healing on Hecarim is really important because of how much damage his W does heal him in a fight.
Dun. Meanwhile, you
Alright,
see
just play the waiting game. So WSU, they're looking to congregate mid lane, push it down, take the towers, and go for that victory. Cal fans, finding who can 1v1 in the bush.
you might see
Their
the
push
pressure
strategy
in
seems
bot
to be
lane.
working out for them so far, clearing the vision.
You're gonna probably see pressure in bot lane, as the top inhibitor is the one that's putting super minion
There
pressure
is this
on.
easy rot portal top lane, but all that does is delay the super minions. It won't stop them, and it won't start at pushing against them, but it will delay them from coming any further.
Cocoons, charms getting thrown out.
Not finding it.
No catches there. This Hecarim doing exactly what we thought he might.
And they got the pick
doing.
up.
Meanwhile, you're gonna see the engage off of Nautilus, and actually ends up giving Malphite the engage to go to the backline. You're gonna see Sivir and Lysandre claiming 3 lives for OSU, 4 lives for OSU, and now 5 lives for OSU. That is a complete ace, and that is probably, most definitely, the game with 40-second death timers at the minimum. 33 on Alistar, my bad. Meanwhile, that is not nearly short enough to save the Nexus, which is falling right now. And that is
Now, I've
2
asked
games for WSU.
Alright, I've asked Mazin if him and Ben are interested in doing an interview. They said yes, so I'm going to
Invite them to the call.
bring them in here.
All right.
Alrighty.
We got Chronic
so-
Penguin saying Heck has about a bonus of 34 AD from move speed with 5% AD from Dragon as well, contributing.
Hello.
Hello, Madison. Hello, Ben.
Interview.
So great games, guys. 2-1. So let's bring it back to the first game. So the first game, you guys had a really dominant early game, and then Corky happened. So what were your ideas of like getting back into the game once Corky was once Corky did his due?
It wasn't Corky. It was more of this like we decided to stay under a tower and die, and then stay under another tower and die, and then they got an inhibitor, and then the game was over.
But that Corky,
It could have been like any champion that was 7-1.
I don't know if you
wasn't-
guys remember, but there was a part where I tried to solo the Corky because I knew Donald was right there, and Donald just decided to miss all spells, and so that kind of spelled the end for
So
the
it's
game.
Donald's fault that you lost the 2v1.
Anytime we
Donald's
lose, it's
fault.
probably Donald's fault. Like, just as like a general rule.
All right, I'm glad to see there's camaraderie amongst teammates.
So it
No
wasn't
doubt.
Corky's fault.
And so the next game, that next game was much closer. It stalled out for a bit in the middle, but then Ben, you kind of did ridiculous amounts of damage. You got that assassination on Oriana, and so like once you guys won that fight, what was your goal? Like what was the team mentality for winning the game after that?
The entire yeah. You go ahead.
I felt like that game we were in control. It just was our team comp didn't really suit sieging towers against like their heavy engaged, so we had to be wary of that. So we just had to play around neutral objectives and fight there.
I really
It was
do.
just very hard for us to siege towers. We just had a solid gold lead after like one 20-minute fight. We just kept on rising the gold.
Basically, what I was gonna say is, after the Oriana kind of messed up a little bit by like splitting to the side, and so her teammates couldn't protect her. And so after we won that one fight, we knew like we scaled better, and so our entire like mindset was just like don't mess up, like because the game is in our hands, we scale better, and we just need to like play.
Yeah.
what's it called? Play
Safe.
like calculated
safe.
type of thing where we're not messing up. We're just like taking them apart one by one. So that's why it was kind of a longer game.
So yeah, you played it out, and you did great that game, Ben. You definitely showed up in all 3 games, but I definitely feel the middle game was the game that was the Ben game.
Thanks, man. I like Twitch.
You did a lot of
Yeah, and
damage. You had-
7-4, 12-2. Yeah, Ben. Oh, I mean, but
I thought Ben did a great job. In that last game, I actually called it at the very start. I said, WSU, they've won the draft phase. They just have to. The only way they lose is if they all lose early game. And so, Mazen, I know you like the Hecarim pick, and so we had some questions about like why you go Runic Echoes and why you start Blue Buff.
no, that game I just started blue buff because I wasn't gonna get a leash because we were going to like invade.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm just gonna start blue buff because I won't have mana to do like 3 camps at all. So I just did a very like safe clear.
And
Just
then
yeah, and then Runic Echoes, you just do it for the mana and the movement speed, and the burst is really nice.
if they had left
Like all the other ones are just bad.
if they had left Nidalee up that game, would you have picked Nidalee over Hecarim?
Yeah, Nidalee's broken, so I always play Nidalee.
I feel you did really well on Nidalee in the
Basically.
second game. Like I think what was your score?
Thank
Like
you.
12 and something?
They definitely took it. It was good
Well-
enough for them to take it away from him in the 3rd game.
Yeah, they banned it the first, and then I think they like were gonna test to see if I played it, and then they were like, "Well, he plays it, so can't let that go through." It's just a really, really, really strong champion that always has to be banned if you have the enemy team has a player that plays it.
So, with your bans, you guys kept more or less the same bans over the course of the 3 games, switching out Corki in the second game. And were you targeting the jungler with those bans?
It was kind of a mix.
It was
just like
yeah.
take them off comfort.
It's just
is
like
the main thing.
I think after the first game, we just kind of noticed their jungler was a little bit weak on maybe not his not totally comfortable champions, and we noticed he played a lot of the Graves. So we just want to get someone out of their comfort zone, and it's just kind of. I mean, he didn't perform like terrible on Gragas. He just he wasn't as like powerful as he could have been on Graves, and we didn't really want to test. We don't want to like see how good he is before.
You didn't want to give
So we just kind
them
of banned
the
something
Nidalee
that he's very
test?
comfortable on. Similar how they banned like the Azir and the Zed from Donald.
He definitely had a couple of moments in this. There was definitely a couple of moments in the second game where there was headbutts or Gragas ults that definitely allowed some more deaths on his team. Most notably, I wish we had the clip, but there was the fight around dragon bit. I think it was for your guys' 5th dragon.
I mean, you can't like it's. Yeah, I mean, you can't always just like assume every ulti is going to be like fantastic. Sometimes you're like, all right, I can get this Cho'Gath out of position, but then you like forget Cho'Gath will just one shot your back line.
Yeah.
So
All right. So what's your plans? You guys play, I think, UBC next week.
Yeah, we plan on winning.
You plan on winning. So
so
can I
plan
get
on
a,
winning
can I get a
everything.
score
We're
prediction
winning
right now?
Cascadia.
Score prediction?
Mhm.
We lose the first because we always lose the
Yeah,
first.
we lose the first,
every
and
game.
then we just
we'll
outdraft them, dude.
So you guys
We-
taking
we
a look at TSM?
We adapt
yeah,
their
we,
gods.
we take a break, we cry a little bit. Some guys like they have rubber ducky for like safety, and then after that first game, we come back and we man up, put on our big old panties, and win the game.
All right.
All right.
What-
Congratulations, winning your first game. I'm not sure how we're supposed to report this, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. And,
Report.
oh yeah, and good luck in the rest of the Cascadia Cup.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. So unless you have anything more, Cody, I think that's it for us tonight.
Do you have any? You don't have to tell what it is, but do you have any secret like team concoctions you're trying, like the new like?
Heck,
Yeah, they
throw
they
'em
run
off?
Nunu. They run Nunu, and then they tie my wraiths and they can take them.
Yeah. I play Nunu and time your small buffs. Not like the small camps. I time like the little parts, like the little wolf. I just time each one.
Oh, all right.
If that makes sense.
Okay. That's
Like
pretty
just
solid.
not do the small things.
That's a solid strat.
Terra Kindred bottom lane's powerhouse.
No, I will never play Kindred bottom lane. Not playing TF AD carry 3. That's been discussed
dude.
as well.
Unlucky.
Just because my name has Fate in it doesn't mean I'm playing TF. It's not happening.
You don't like TF?
No. I like a mid. Just not AD carry.
Oh, all right, okay. I understand that.
Calfon says MS Sona into chat, so I think we'll go with that.
MF Sona Mumu, Curse of the Sad Bullet Time. It's a good season 2 strategy. We're pulling out.
All right.
Vote
Oh.
for Ben, by the way, for your treasure. Just want to
Shameless
throw that
plug.
out there.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, good games,
Well,
guys.
Thank you guys for the interview. And from all 2 people here at the WSU broadcasting crew, wish you all a good night and good luck in your classes.
Yeah, man. Ted, we gotta start playing Civ now. All right. I'm shutting the stream off.